Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just hit the link in the show description to support now.
People who value sleep, sleep on a Nectar mattress. But you're not going to believe me. After all, I might be lying. I must be lying. The only thing you know is true is that commercials lie to you. I must be lying.
Instead of believing silly commercials, trust the more than 2 million happy sleepers who sleep on a Nectar mattress. Nectar Sleep is currently running their biggest offer ever, $399 in accessories plus a 365-night home trial and free shipping and returns. Go to nectarsleep.com today.
It's sweating uncontrollably. Right, are we ready?
Yeah. Ready, while.
You're going to keep that in, aren't you?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Welcome back to another episode of Wrestling Around. Yeah, I don't know what happened then in the start, but you'll probably hear it because Lou's a prick and he's going to leave it all in.
Even if he doesn't, it's your fault. Entirely your fault.
Well, nah, big to differ.
Junior, hyperactive glands.
Joining me is the world famous Terry Peters. Terry Peters, how are we doing?
I'm all good, thank you. How are you?
It's nice to actually show up to that.
Are you welcome?
I didn't think you would for a bit, but
been doing a lot of fanging and banging this week, so.
Yeah, well, did you listen to the episode?
No.
No,
he obviously didn't. That's why he's joined us and he's not offended.
Is it that bad? I can't remember.
Yeah, that's
probably.
Yeah, it always is.
You called him a
Not wrong.
No, I just read out the report.
Yeah.
Jesus, that's going to stay in as well. Joining me as well is world-class wrestling journalist Aaron Franklin. Aaron, how are we doing?
I'm not too bad, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Have you been fagging and banging?
I'm always fanging and banging. Not as much as Gangrel, obviously.
I can't believe that's a thing.
It's not humanly possible. Don't see me on any trains. So.
Have you ever found out who that Randy old man is?
Yeah, it's Gangrel. Gangrel.
Right? Yeah, love it.
You haven't denied it.
True. Ric Flair did.
Well, he didn't. He just said, I don't go on trains.
He just said, I don't go on trains, did he?
Oh, I love that. What is he, like 70? Love it. Join me as well is Lou. Lou, how are we doing?
I'm hanging out with Astros. So.
Are you disappointed that you always get introduced as Lou and not world famous or world class wrestling journalist?
No, because I think it's just implied in it. Like I need no introduction. That's how I take it. Right.
Cool. Have you had any more weird encounters with flagmen?
No flagman. Just a lot of weirdos on Twitter this week. I'm sure we'll get into. That's
nobody turned up on your latest sporting adventure.
No. The flag guy was not there when I went to play football, which I was quite grateful for. Yeah, and I've not been to the gym since.
He's just hanging about. If you check to make sure he's still alive.
Mm-hmm. I did have to walk through Holbeck at like 8:30 at night every week, which is an interesting experience, but only approached it once.
On the street corner.
Yeah, you're looking for business stuff. Okay, I'm in my shin pads. Like, no, like, what do you think this is?
Protect against carpet burns, aren't we?
Ridiculous.
What shin pads do you have? Like the real little tiny ones that are cool, or have you got like the proper old school wraparounds?
They're about half an hour for us, to be honest. They don't go up to the ankles. They were when I played in the Five Side League, we had to get them. So the team captain at the time just went out and bought as well shin pads. So there's some standard Nike ones. They're not like Jack Grealish types. They actually do cover the part of the shin.
They're not like a playing card.
But they're also they're not the old school like Sandico ones that used to like use full leg.
Yeah. I had a look at mine, and I still think they'd be too big now. So God knows how I used to wear them when I was like 14.
Yeah.
She's really throw them out.
Yeah.
I don't know why I've kept them. We're all here. There's 4 of us here. So that means it's time for feuds we'd like to see.
What the hell?
You've all forgot.
No, these two have remembered.
Is Terry actually pulling out the bag?
Yeah.
To be honest, Terry, your last one was terrible. It was awful.
I've got a quarter of a page written for this bad boy. And it's frankly...
Was that supposed to be impressive?
No.
A quarter of a page?
Well, it's better than the 2 lines that I gave last time, isn't it? But it's frankly ridiculous and it's amazing, so enjoy.
Cool. So we've got Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Vince McMahon involving a cooking spoon and a Tower of Doom match. That was for your benefit, Lou.
Yeah, thank you.
Aaron, as the reigning champion, who is currently leading 2-1-0. Lou, you have no points. Terry's got 1 point, and his was embarrassing. So come on, pull your finger out. Aaron, you get to decide who goes first.
Right, I'm feeling generous today. So Lou can go last. Just give him a little bit of time.
Thank you very much.
Terry can go first because I'm intrigued to see how humorous his storyline is.
He's still typing now, so I imagine he's adding to his hat a quarter. I can't believe he said that like it was impressive.
Oh, no, it's not impressive. It's better than the 2 lines that I came up with last time. I thought you'd be impressed that I put this much effort into it.
No, I was. And when it's like one of them things where you say, I wrote a quarter of a page, and then you actually listen to what somebody said, and you wrote a quarter of a page. If you'd have wrote it in 3 lines, like Stone Cold, Vince McMahon, Cooking Spoon, Tower of Doom, you probably would have got a quarter of a page.
I'm going to be honest. I've known Terry for about 12 years, and not once have I ever been impressed with anything that he's said or done. Never, not once.
I've known me for 28 years and felt exactly the same thing.
Well, why don't you book the trend now, Terry Peters? Impress us, wow us with your feuds we'd like to see.
Right then. So, Stone Cold Steve Austin becomes All Elite. He signs for AEW, and to announce his arrival to Dynamite, he's introduced by his best friend, JR, who also happens to be promoting his new barbecue sauce at the same time.
What barbecue sauce? What flavour?
Smoky.
No, boring.
Smoky barbecue.
Try again.
Come on, you could have said anything then.
Sweet and smoky. Sweet smoky with a hint of honey.
Okay, you've made it worse. Should have stopped the smoking.
There you go, smoky barbecue sauce.
I'm just like that. I am out. It's like Dragon sending it.
Stone Cold comes down to the ring, doesn't he? He sits down with JR and drinks a Steve Weiser, and he pulls out a little cooking spoon because JR has also brought out a big vat of the smoky barbecue sauce.
I just start you there, Peters. Stone Cold will get really angry at you calling them Steve Weisers because they're Broken Skull IPA.
Well, whatever.
Because he got really upset. He got really upset at JBL for saying drinking Steve Weisers.
Well, okay, the Broken Skull IPA then.
Thank you. Just don't want him to get upset with you. That's all.
No, that's fine. That's fine. JR's cooking pot is there. It's bubbled away in the middle, so the smoky smell has filled the arena. Stone Cold pulls out his cooking spoon, stares the pot a little bit, tries it, just has a little sip of this barbecue sauce, and he says, "God damn, son, this is better than any of that shit Vince McMahon produces." There you go. We're going there. We're going there. So boom, the forbidden door just creaks open that little bit. So the next night, the next WWE show, McMahon leaves SmackDown, pretends he hasn't acknowledged it. On Raw, Vince McMahon comes out with his new brand of sauce, McMahon Mayo, and to come out and test it, he brings out Gilbert, because everyone knows Gilbert is like Goldberg, who was like Stone Cold. So, but shit. So there we go.
That's a stretch or whatever.
Bald goatee, black pants. There you go. Is that not Stone Cold?
Yeah.
There you go.
No waistcoat, is there?
No, that's not. You're right. So
no cans of whoop ass.
No, but there is a can of Gilbert grape. He comes out drinking Gilbert's grapes. It's a sparkly drink. Anyway,
is it one of these? Is like one of them?
Yeah, so
nice.
A grape seltzer.
White Claw there.
So Gilbert comes out. This time he brings out a little teaspoon and tries the McMahon Mayo. And McMahon Mayo is incredible, but Gilbert don't like it. So Vince McMahon fires his ass and then makes him join the Kiss My Ass at the same time. And then
Are we just going to skip off of that you've said Mayo is amazing? We're pretending that didn't happen, right? Cool.
Yeah. That's what we do.
So we roll around to Dynamite. Austin comes out once again. This time he is armed with a bottle of Mayo. He puts it in the corner of the ring and just continually shouts "what" at it for 5 minutes. Just what? That's all you hear. That's all you hear for 5 minutes. And JR's going, "God damn it, you son of a bitch! Give it to it! Give it to it!" And then we go to SmackDown on Friday night. McMahon comes out. He's not happy at all. He comes out and he challenges Barbecue Sauce and God to a tag match against the McMahons at No Way Out.
Is God played by Shawn Michaels?
No, God's played by the Light. That was Shawn Michaels' tag partner. Comes out with the same entrance, everything. He's been re-signed on a one-year deal. So no way out comes.
Thank you for clarifying the clerical.
You're welcome. No way out comes, and then Vince hits the barbecue sauce with a chair. But just before he's about to lay the pin on the barbecue sauce to win the match, the Austin glass shatters. And then, by God, he's here with JR. JR's smoky barbecue sauce and a cooking spoon. Austin hits McMahon with the cooking spoon, then gives him a stunner. By God, he puts the barbecue sauce on McMahon and counts the 1, 2, 3. And God and the barbecue sauce beat Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon, reeling at this, comes out on Monday Night Raw, having a go at Stone Cold, at barbecue sauce, and proving why McMahon Mayo is the best. And then the glass shatters once again. And on the stage, Austin is flanked by JR and Tony Khan. The forbidden door is well and truly open here, boys and girls. And they are armed with cooking spoons each. And they come out and whip McMahon with the spoons, because you can do that, like a government mule. And they make Vince McMahon join the Tony Khan Kiss My Ass Club. Live on Raw, Vince McMahon's own creation. And then Tony Khan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and JR, they've filled McMahon with terror and doom for his program, his needs, his wrestling company. It is doomed. So they challenge him at WrestleMania, the grandest stage of them all, the thing that Vince McMahon created, to a Tower of Doom match. 3-on-1. And
Can I just stop you? Can I just stop you there? Vince McMahon didn't create Tower of Doom, so I think he should be disqualified.
Vince McMahon created WrestleMania.
No, didn't. Yeah, I'll let you off on that.
There you go.
Actually, it's telling Howard Finkel was the guy who named it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they challenge him to a 3-on-1 Tower of Doom match.
It's all been noted.
Yeah. Just been heckled all the way through this time.
It'd be great as well. So it's a 3-on-1 Tower of Doom match at WrestleMania. In the main event, the winner gets bragging rights to barbecue sauce and can take the Tower of Doom to either Dynamite or leave it in the WWE. And by God, Austin calls Vince McMahon an SOB, son of a bitch, before the match. McMahon comes down and JR low blows him with a cooking spoon. Austin cracks him open with a cooking spoon, climbs to the top of the Tower of Doom, and is now taking Tower of Doom to AEW and wins at WrestleMania on the granddaddy of them all. And it's the closing shot is him squeezing AEW into Vince McMahon's face with barbecue sauce and rubbing it and then smothering it with a cooking spoon.
You have to be very precise, wouldn't you? Squeezing sauce onto someone's face.
I thought you were going on his back.
Messy,
yeah, I know the face was weird. I was expecting back.
There you go.
It's better than your usual dribble, Peter. So I have one problem with it. The traditional Tower of Doom match to start on the top.
All right, well, whatever then. This is the reverse one. It's an AEW. Do what they want.
Too late to get about rules now.
It's all taken into account, Peter. But it was better than every one you've ever done. Aaron, I believe you're going second.
I am. So it's 2022 again. And sadly, bringing back the Godfather as general manager hasn't helped Raw in the ratings. Though there was a spike around Payback when the Godfather beat Roman Reigns in the Ken Bell match. But sadly, since then, the ratings have gone down yet again. So Vince decides that this calls for drastic action because he wants to bring that ruthless aggression back to the WWE, damn it. And he knows exactly what to do. Next week on Raw, Vince is in his office and he calls up Stone Cold and interrupts him cooking his dinner. Vince says that he wants Steve back in the WWE. In fact, he doesn't just want him, he needs him. Austin tells Vince that his wrestling days are long gone and doesn't belong anywhere near a WWE ring. Vince announces that he wants Stone Cold back as the GM of Raw again, and that Vince himself will be the GM of SmackDown. He wants to put SmackDown up against Raw, and he knows the only person that can run Raw is Stone Cold Steve Austin. Austin accepts. Vince thanks him and he ends the call. Austin turns back around to find that his plastic cooking spoon is melted in his soup. He's absolutely furious, picks up the pan and throws it against the wall. So the following Monday, Raw opens with Vince coming down to the ring. He announces that tonight is the night for change. At Great American Bash at the end of the month, SmackDown will put 4 of their top guys against Raw's best 4. And finally, the man who made this possible, Stone Cold Steve Austin. The crowd, Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out, yeah. And so the crowd goes absolutely wild. Austin gets in the ring, mic in hand. Well, listen here, Vince, you little son bitch. You know that if you were to cut my arm open, the blood that comes out would be WWE. but you made this personal by interrupting me and ruining my soup last Monday. Hold up there, Austin. I told you I needed you back. It's not my fault you left a plastic spoon in your soup. Austin just delivers stones to Vince. You wanted Stone Cold, you got Stone Cold. You want to put your best guys up against man here on Raw? Well, sadly, that ain't possible because the old Raw roster is full of pussies. You've put all your best talent on SmackDown to keep Fox happy. You've forgotten to look after the show that made this company what it is. You best choose your team wisely, Vince, because they're going to enter my world. And yes, it'll be a 4-4, but it'll be a 4-4 in a Tower of Doom. Austin leaves as Vince sits in the corner, smirking, like that pervy smirk that he does. He's doing that. So Friday Night SmackDown comes. It's a great show. And at the end, Vince comes out ready to announce his team of 4. First up, the big dog, followed by Seth Rollins. Next up, Vince announces King Nakamura, and he comes out with Rick Boogs, and Pat McAfee goes absolutely wild.
Boogs. There you go.
For his final pick, keep rolling. Snakeskin pants taker.
Oh, the judge can be bought.
He knows how to spot the boys. Snakeskin taker again.
So Austin comes out on top of the ramp. Is that all you've got, Vince? Predictable as always. Now, I told you that none of some bitches on Raw can fight. So I've been talking to some old friends this week who made WWE Raw the biggest sports entertainment program in the world. So here's my pick. Triple H, Booker T, John Cena, and last but not least, The Rock. Rock comes out. Finally, The Rock has come back to the WWE. It's time to lay some smackers down. It looks like the big dog is next. Everyone's getting what they wanted because everyone wants Roman Reigns versus The Rock, don't they?
This is exactly what I wanted as well.
So over the next few episodes of SmackDown Raw, we see Team Raw screwing SmackDown in matches and vice versa. By the time the Great American Bash comes around, the tension is hit boiling point, and now it's time for the main event. Team Austin from Raw interferes and into the Tower of Doom. Austin stands on the outside of the ring. Now Team Vince for SmackDown enter his team enter the cage before the referee has a chance to lock the cage and ring the bell. The match begins. It's absolute chaos in the top cage. The Rock is going hell for leather on the big dog. Snakeskin pants taker is destroying Booker T. Triple H is dismantling Seth Rollins, and Nakamura is kicking the crap out of Cena. Hell has literally broken loose. Suddenly, Braun Strowman walks down the ramp, walks towards the cage door and rips it off. The crowd are cheering, but who's he going to side with? Gets in the cage and heads straight for Triple H and Rollins. Delivers a huge big boot to Triple H. And suddenly, the crowd start booing. The camera cuts to Vince and he's laughing. Austin is enraged and heads towards Vince. Vince runs around the side of the cage with Austin falling like a game of cat and mouse. Vince cowers behind the announce desk, begging for Austin not to hit him, but now he's cornered. Austin punched him, throws him on the table. Stunner through the table. Austin doesn't stop, he heads into the ring. Stunner to Nakamura, stunner to Rollins, stunner to Braun. Austin is on fire. Snakeskin pants taker and Reigns are at the top of the cage, still fighting the Rock and Triple H. He heads up. Stunner to Reigns, stunner to Snakeskin pants taker. The stunners to Team SmackDown, giving Team Raw the chance to regroup. Cena delivers an FU to Rollins. Booker delivers a bookend to Nakamura. Braun is back to his feet and tries to deliver a running powerbomb to Cena, but Booker interrupts him with a scissor kick. Triple H delivers a pedigree to Reigns, and The Rock gives a rock bottom to Snakeskin pants taker. Back in the lower cage, Cena delivers a 5-knuckle shuffle to Braun. Booker T pins Nakamura. 1, 2. Kicks out. The Rock heads down to the low cage, rock bottom to Rollins, followed by People's Elbow. 1, 2, 3. Team Raw win. Austin heads up onto the top of the tower, and Pat McAfee throws up a couple of beers. Stone Cold smashes them together. And then suddenly, Rick Boogs starts playing Austin's music on the guitar. Pat McAfee is going wild.
Boogs.
But big question, will this help maintain the Raw viewership? Only time will tell.
Cliffhanger ending there as well. Appreciate that. Look, this is possibly the highest standard of Shooters Led to See ever. And
yeah. Well, it's about to get...
Can you keep it up?
It's about to get higher, and I believe. But I'm not really... You know me, I like to go off the cuff.
Yeah, you like to call it by the crowd, don't you?
So we're going back into the extended Luniverse for this one. So it's Raw, and Vince McMahon comes out and he said, "Dude, no chance." He goes, "Well, I'm here today to do our general manager William Regal's job appraisal." So he brings out Regal. He goes, "Regal, now, I've not been watching my own product recently, but has anything happened that I should know about?" And Regal's like, "Well, I've got to be honest, a couple of the roster have died." So It's like, how many? One person died, and the guy's like, what? Like, 2 people died, and what? It's like, well, actually, several people have died. Val Venus died. Zeus was dead already. Kamala was dead.
Kamala Harris.
And Vice President Kamala Harris was involved in the match. It's like, Regal, this sounds appalling. Frankly, what we need is you got one more chance, but you're going to have an assistant. And we need a bald, goateed assistant. And I think you all know who I mean. And then you know,
what?
Goes black, right? You know, everyone goes dark, and then you hear hard hit. The coach walks out. It's like, it's me, the coach. I'm your new assistant. Here you go.
Just a question here.
Yep.
Has Vince finally paid the coach for his XFL owed wages back?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, he won them in a ladder match. He won them in a ladder match on Heat. So that was like,
that's why nobody watched it then. Right? Makes sense.
It's on Heat. Nobody saw it. And then he goes, "It's me, the coach." And Regal, you've been signing too many dead wrestlers, but I've got someone whose career is just dead. And then glass shatters. Stone Cold Steve Austin comes out. And it's like he arrives. And he goes,
you mean by dead? You don't mean when he made the move into reality television?
No, I just mean because he's not wrestled for a while.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
Obviously not read the guy.
He made the decision to leave Hollywood and make the move into reality TV.
Yeah, so. Country music television is a big. Any other would do the same. With West Hollywood.
Just saying, that was his choice. That was his choice.
Country music television. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
He made the move into reality TV.
Yeah, so he comes out and he stuns Vince, obviously, just immediately, and he goes, "Right, goddamn, I'm here on the roster." And Regal goes, "Well, that's an absolutely appalling way to treat your own employer. And Mr. McMahon's been very kind to me. He's given me one more chance, although he has given me the coach. But I remember being on the roster with you in our old WCW days. And next week, Steve Austin, you will go into the Tower of Doom and face your history." So I said, what? What does it mean by face his history? Right, so next week, Tower of Doom's there on the stage as normal. He goes up to the top. Who's in the first one? Savio Vega. He's going to wrestle Savio Vega. So he's wrestling Savio Vega. Oh, and also Regal said, "And if you don't win, you'll be fired from the WWE forever." So that's an important thing.
Stakes, not yellow.
Yeah, so he forgot to say that. So he just popped up like after Savio Vega made his entrance. He's like, "Oh, by the way, you're fired." Because then it just kind of adds a bit of tension, doesn't it? Everyone's like,
yeah.
So yeah, Savio Vega's on there. I'm just going to go check if Savio Vega's still alive. I think he is.
Yeah, he is. He is.
Has he got any kind of conditions or anything? Is that right?
No idea.
So I want to make it realistic, though.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he's still alive, and he was at the Undertaker's retirement ceremony.
Yeah,
I completely forgot that. Yeah. So obviously, Michael calls the commentary like, "Oh my God, it's Savio Vega. He's been regularly active in BSP, CWA, and NRW, including making international appearances in countries like Kuwait. They also played for Game Changer Wrestling." And everyone's like, "Wow, it's pretty impressive." Actually, it's pretty impressive that he's done that. But Austin, like, a bit back and forth, but he stuns him. And he goes down to the next level, and it's Brian Pillman Jr.
Oh God, you said Junior.
Yeah, but he gets a shotgun out anyway. So Pillman's got a gun. God. And then, so he's just about to blast him in the face, and then what happens? Like, he pulls the trigger, but the bullet doesn't hit Austin. Why not? Because Brutus, the fucking barrel beefcake, has come out and he's put a cooking spoon in front of the shotgun. To block it. Absolutely, it's absolutely outrageous.
You forgot about the cooking spoons right now, didn't you?
No, that was always the plan. Brutus about beefcake comes in with kitchen appliances, does he not? Kitchen utensils.
But that was the booty man, wasn't it? So,
well, it's the same guy, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, was it?
Yeah. So what was the difference? It's not a mullet.
I like the booties. I don't know.
Still got his mullet, hasn't he?
Some of us like to believe in kayfabe, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's the same guy. Brutus the bad beefcake. Boogeyman, how do you want to call him? Anyway, the most important thing is that he managed to
Zodiac, the disciple.
Yeah, he managed to stop a shotgun with a fucking spoon. Like, we need to focus on that, really, because that's important. And he ricochets off. Well, what ricochet? Ricochet comes out, does a 630, and then Vince McMahon goes, Ricochet, on my TV. You've had your 30 seconds, pal. Get off. And that's Ricochet gone. Like, that's enough Ricochet for 1 week. So he's done now. Ricochet's up. So anyway, like Steve Austin rolls him up and pins Brian Pillman Jr.
Yes.
He gets down to the bottom level, and who is it from the past that he's had the most battles with? The Rock, but also Vince. But it's The Rock, but like he's just had his breast surgery, so he's wearing his like his football shirt.
He's wearing his black shirt.
I thought he was going to say The Rock and Vince, but it's actually just Vince dressed as The Rock.
That's a different universe. That's in wrestling around. It's like that's completely.
We'll get onto after this.
I want to do that one, but I don't know what you call him. Like The Rock, doesn't make any sense, does it? But
none of it makes any sense.
It all makes perfect sense as the Vinceverse. But this is the Luniverse, different canon.
Right, cool.
Where was I going with this? Yeah, so he's got to wrestle them both. And it's like, oh damn, pal, I need to get a tag team partner myself. But who does he get? And I've just kind of made this up as I was going on now. So who does he get? It's fucking Mick Foley. Mick Foley turns up. But then, like, Mick Foley, like, he just turns around to the camera and everyone's like, Mick Foley, are you going to, like, but he basically just starts nagging Tony Khan for a job instead of actually kind of, like, doing his job in the WWE. It's like, oh, please just hire me, Tony Khan. And everyone's like, well, that is part of the cost because that's what he's been doing all week. So Foley's no use whatsoever. Like,
ooh, the internet going to be upset with you.
The audio. So Austin's like, oh, goddamn pal, I guess I'm on my own. Like, so he's just beating him up. He beats up Vince, beats up The Rock, stunner on him, goes to pin him on the bottom level. He's just about to pin him, and then he just kind of like rolls over, clutching the back of his head because the fucking spoon just fell from the cage above. Knocked Austin out. The Rock pins him. Austin's fired from the WWE.
Lose his podcast as well.
She loses everything. She's gone.
Oh
We cut backstage and Regal and the coach.
Does he lose his steady job in reality TV?
No, because that's not WWE. So he can still do that. Like, he's still doing Redneck Island. All the all right.
Thank God for that.
But he can't promote them anymore on WWE. But then, like, Regal and the coach are still at the side of a TV, looking like this, going, and Regal goes, well, coach, I hope you've learned a valuable lesson. And that's it. Ends there. What's the valuable lesson? All right, so I'll have the points now.
That's good. Yeah. Well, do you know what? That was the highest standard of Fuse Lots to see since we started it.
Thank you.
God knows how many weeks ago. Yeah. It's tough. Terry Peters had arguably his strongest week, but he got the rules of Tara Doom wrong. Aaron's strong as always, and I love the fact it carries on. He left it on the cliffhanger.
Yes, and snakeskin
pants. Yeah, but you're all just going to name snakeskin pants next week.
I had the Kiss My Ass Club. What more do you want?
Peter's had the Kiss My Ass Club and the Tony Khan Kiss My Ass Club, which is something I think he would genuinely do. I think would wind me up. Lou had the impressions. And I like the fact yours carries on as well. So something to think there, Terry Peters. Now you've upped your game. You need to start creating universes.
I also did do squeezing barbecue sauce onto Vince McMahon's face, so intricate artwork.
It don't work on the face with re-established this.
Right, AEW on the forehead, just flat.
And also the Tony Khan Kiss My Ass Club. Well, Brian Alvarez has been that for years anyway.
So is anybody who signed recently? They're relevant. Yeah. When he makes him do a press conference that next one, see how good he is. We'll get on to that later on. Do you know what? I'm going to give it to him. Lou gets the points this week for the impressions alone. It is now 1-1-2. Aaron maintains his lead at the top. This is close. You've all upped your game.
Yes,
I'm very pleased. I feel like Aaron's made you all up your game.
Pretty much that's what's happened, yeah. Got the best out of me, I think. But thank you.
Let's find out what we're doing next time.
I've just given it a bit of thought.
Yeah, Peter's on at least half a page from you next time.
I think it ended up being a third of a page.
Outrageous.
Slowly building his way up.
Right, let's spin the wheel and see who we've got next.
Oh.
We've got Randy Orton. I've added some more names to the list. And he will be against. It's one of the new names. Cheeks from TNA Wrestling. Oh, you love to see it.
How do we spell that? Is that CHEEX, I believe? Is that
is it? I thought it was KZ.
I mean, in the nicest way possible. No one's really going to care, are they? Because you're the only person reading it.
Oh, sure, you're right. It might be important, right? It might have a match. It might have a match for the X. Booker T had a match for the T ones.
They will be fighting over a blanket or comforter.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I'll let you decide which, but it can only be one. You would lose points if it's both.
Important.
And the match will be. I need to add some more matches to this, Spencer.
It's Tower Doom, yeah. Brown Panthers.
Lumberjack.
Yeah.
So, to sum up, it is Randy Orton versus Cheeks, the guy who broke the ring on the first tier. Involving a blanket or comforter, but only one. In a lumberjack match. Or lumberjill. You know what I mean? It's 2021.
That's probably the most boring match type we could have got, isn't it?
Oh, no.
Oh.
No.
You're going to use your creativity, Peters. I can't be giving you, like, Tower of Dooms every week.
I don't like a lumberjack match, just in general.
I've already written some ideas then.
Yeah, I've got a little idea anyway.
We'll get the rain down and we'll see if we can do it next week. We're all together. It's 1-1-2, and the loser, whoever comes last, has to give the other two people £10. So
that's 20 quid.
I know. So
Jesus,
you got to get on with it, haven't you?
I reckon a £5 for each person.
Christ.
Terry already orders us a round of pints anyway.
It's true. He owes me a pint from Liverpool away 2014, I believe it was. Bought around when we went to the pub. And Terry goes, "I'm going back to the bar now." Gets a pint for himself.
Don't remember that.
Classic Terry. I think I did. Was that New Year's Day?
Yeah, it's about 7 or 8 years ago, but I'm still livid.
No, I think I remember it.
Yeah.
And I remember being absolutely livid as well. Because we just stood there like, what? And he's got like a bottle of Copperberg, I believe it was.
Yeah. I assumed it was dark fruits. Anyway, so yeah, tell you on my pint. Not for gone. Just thought I'd call you on and I thought, wait. 7 years.
Perfect moment.
Yeah. That was it, right then.
And me as well. Peter as well, while we're getting pints. Right then, speaking of universes or something verses, Lou, what happened in Wrestling Around Wrestling Federation, weekly Wednesday wrestling?
Well, it was on Tuesday for one. Preempted to Tuesday.
Yes, it was. I know it's been awkward because they were listening to last week, but whatever. We'll do it now. We'll discuss it.
No, God, there's two we've got to discuss then, yeah. Is it? Is that how it works?
Just the one.
No, just the one. Just the one. It's back on tonight. We're back on Wednesday again. So
back on Wednesday. Tonight. Back to normal.
So it was night one of all Vince. And everyone was Vince first.
The Vince Bears was kicked by them. Richards demanded this was stopped. How was it managed to get his own
Well, it was because when the Vinces beat the former personalities of the Vinces that he took over, however, I don't know how it works. Then the Vinceverse opened and it was unleashed. So we had some debuts. Kevin Snash was there.
How pleased are you with that one? Is that the one you're most pleased with, Kevin Snash?
No, I think it's Sam McMahon. I'm pretty pleased with. No, McMandy Savage is up there as well. I think the best one.
Vince Dorado.
Vince Dorado was good. McMahon Says Ford was good.
Because obviously McMangelo Dawkins.
Yeah, he got released, but apparently rumors has re-signed, so we'll see what happens there. It was released too quickly.
Didn't somebody watch it and say these were all Vince characters?
Yeah, someone told us, didn't they, that it was the wrong. It wasn't actually VM. No, that was the week before, wasn't it?
That was the week before. It was VM Punk and
Angelo Dawkins. Informed
us
he
was there because
it was not indeed Angelo Dawkins or CM Punk.
It was Vince McMahon.
But anyway, so what happened was it was meant to be a tournament, but chaos broke loose. There was just 4 ways, 3 ways. There's a Vince Battle Royal at the end.
Did you have King Nakamura?
Vinsuke Nakamura's been in there from the start.
Vinsuke, that's how you calling him.
Vinsuke Nakamura, yeah, he's been in there right from the beginning.
If you watched it, Peters, you'd have known that.
He
wouldn't have embarrassed yourself in front of all our listeners.
He debuted in like June, didn't he?
Yeah, but then Vinsuke Nakamura.
Vinsuke Nakamura was in the actual match to save the Vinces.
Now he's King Nakamura.
Was he the one who got
No, he's King Nakamura. This is WAWF.
And Shinz McMahon lost his contract. You knew this if you watched it on a weekly basis. On that basis,
Vince
get out.
Yeah. Vince and Vince lost, didn't they? So it was like...
They lost, and that's why the Vince because Red Shoes demanded it to stop, but Red Shoes has lost control. It's
gone too far, isn't it?
Vince Saura's box has been opened.
Yeah, so it's been unleashed, and next tonight, it's an 8 Vince tournament called Vince of the Ring. The winner gets an immediate title match against VM Punk. But it turns out VM Punk he's off camera. He's dropped the Wrestling Round Championship.
What?
In a trash can, and he's now proclaiming himself the Vince champion. And he's going to have a new belt.
I hope you've cleared another day on your week.
He's going to have a new belt tonight.
Is it a rebranding of WWF?
That's what he's done. He's done it. But also,
are you doing this for Survivor Series?
Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe
I love that. That is great.
Maybe there is a parallel storyline from about 20 years ago that you could kind of, if you follow it step by step, you'll find that this one's pretty similar. But anyway, tonight. So, all Vince was all Vince's. Vince of the Ring, 8 Vinces. But tag team champions Tom Campbell and Anna Pacitti have been invited to defend their championship tonight at Vince of the Ring. And that's going to happen between the semis and the final.
Who are they going to go against? Do we know?
It's an open challenge for us.
An open challenge.
Oh,
but intriguing.
McMangelo Dawkins has just resigned. So McMahon says Ford was there last week, so you can see where this is going.
I'm trying to think of the ones that there was VKM.
Yeah, for Rob. Yeah, I should have called him Rob Vindam. Really, that'd be a better way.
That would have been better.
Kevin Sowens.
Kevin Sowens.
McMankind. McMangrel.
McMangrel. Yeah, McMankind.
McMangle.
There was another guy in the mask, wasn't he?
Yeah, Vince Dorada.
There was somebody in the mask, and it could have just been anybody, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Vince Dorada because he's got a full mask.
He's got a full mask.
Yeah. Well, who else was he? I should have got my roster up, really, should I? And checked.
Yeah. But I'm excited to see where this goes.
There was some that I forgot. Did the Big Boss McMahon appear in the end? Papa McMango was my favourite one.
Papa McMango.
Yeah. Favorite one.
Who's going to be in this tournament?
We'll find out.
Is this tournament all new Vinces?
McManuel Bryan was there.
And
Ving. Oh, Vinder Mahal. How did we get Vinder Mahal?
Vinder Mahal, yeah.
With the Ving brothers. That was the best part, I thought.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Oh, you really have to be there on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Back to Wednesdays. Is that what we're saying?
Back to
new time, no, 8:30.
8:30 instead of 7:30. Yeah. And I may or may not have showered.
Well, we'll find out, won't we? Mm-hmm. You don't want to get showered too early because you get out of the shower and carry on sweating.
Sweating again, yes. That's what I do.
Speaking of my glands, I'm a bit fully recovered from the old. What went on earlier? Recording, I was sweating.
But yeah, join us weekly after the rest of the night. Yeah, Red Shoes has got to get this under control. It's got to get under control.
Red Shoes needs it. Does Red Shoes need some help? Is that what we're saying?
We're on the build up to Rules. The big pay-per-view at the end of the month.
Can't wait to see it.
What's going to happen?
What's going to happen to the rest of our regulars? What's going to happen to the Corn? The new champ?
Yeah. He's not.
Samoa Joe's redemption. What's happened to the Peters Posse?
Oh, well, do you know what? Samoa Joe's annoying, right? It's just like, it's like behind the scenes, right? For some reason, you can't pick Samoa Joe's entrance on the creator entrance, which is why Samoa Vince has never appeared, which is one that. But for some reason, you just can't pick his entrance. It's really annoying.
Yeah.
Even though it's on the game. Yeah. So that's if you're wondering where Samoa Vince.
So has Samoa Joe been blackballed from the Wrestling Wrestling Federation for that reason?
Well, he did lose his title to CM Punk, so it's his fault really, wasn't it?
I'm excited to see Intercontinental Champion Willie Regal make a return.
No, he's not been on for a while, has he?
2010 Chris Jericho.
And also, we had Medium Plastic Gorilla appeared last week, and then we're not seeing him since, have we? But
It's,
it's another Vince special tonight, and after that, we'll be back in the wrestling on the arena, the rest of the round zone.
Hopefully, we'll see another return of 2014 Triple H.
Yeah, he didn't get involved, did he?
What an absolutely ridiculous couple of hours it is. On a Wednesday night, but join us at 8:30 tonight, wrestling around. Is it at twitch.tv /wrestlearound?
/wrestlearound, yeah.
/wrestlearound. Join us. We will be in the comments. All three of us will be in the comments.
Yeah, probably not Terry.
Yeah, he don't like comments.
Didn't have time.
He's not even wrestling lately, are they? So he's scared of the spooky skank.
Fuck the spooky skank.
Oh, they're going 1-on-1 at rules. I forgot to mention that. That's in a singles match because they've all got rules.
Terry Peters versus the ratings killer.
Spooky skank. Yeah.
I've never seen such an influence. It's like literally somebody opened the floor and everyone fell out.
And I've got like double figures, and then Undertaker comes out in fishnets and everything's ruined. I've even given him a sexy cowboy hat to try and boost ratings. But
the American sexy cowboy.
It's not working, Russ.
Maybe you need some snakeskin.
Maybe he needs repackaging. Maybe you've just kind of foreshadowed what's going to happen there, Russ. But
snakeskin fishnets.
Yeah, I am planned through until December's pay-per-view.
Are we going to get snakeskin under Vincer?
Well, we'll see. We'll have to see what happens with us.
It's a whole follow.
Let me write that down.
Yeah, write it down. This week, then, the main event. Let's get on to the main shebang. There'll be nothing that would, no pre-recorded stuff. Or I don't know what I'm saying.
We're talking wrestling.
We're talking about the current state of affairs in wrestling.
Right.
We'll be doing a show. There'll be no Gangrel this week, or will he? No, he hasn't replied to any of our DMs.
Can I start?
Well, you can take the floor, Peters.
Fuck Dave Meltzer.
Fuck Dave Meltzer. What I believe you've got a rant. So
I've got a bee in my bonnet. Right. He's giving Paul White, and QT Marshall 1 star. If that was on WWE, that'd be -stars. There's no way he's not fucking biased. What a bellend he completely is. Honest to God, if that wasn't on AEW, that would have been -stars. Why give it 1? It's shit. Just give it minus, Dave. You can do it. You are allowed. Just because you... I'm not going to say what I was about to say, but you can imagine what I was about to say. Being friends with Tony doesn't mean you have to give everything, even positive stars. Give it minus. It was shite. Goodbye.
Well, on this basis, has anyone got Dave Meltzer's star reviews up? And we'll go for our predictions. Dave Meltzer.
I'll get them up.
Star.
Yeah,
I was just going to ask that.
Are we for All Out? Are we on about? Yeah.
Yeah, it's Terry's thing, isn't it?
I haven't seen it. Full disclosure, I haven't seen All Out.
I've also not seen it, Russ, but I've seen the last 2 minutes, which is the main part, right?
So I watched the whole thing. I think Terry probably did.
I've watched most of it.
The best pay-per-view I've seen in years, and I know everyone was going on about it over Twitter. And I went into it with obviously that in the back of my mind, but I kind of went into it just all that aside. What is this pay-per-view? And it was, like I said, probably one of the best pay-per-views I've seen in years.
It's up there. It's incredible. Do you want to start with the Orange Cassidy match, or are we skipping?
No,
that?
Ignore that. I didn't watch it.
Right, that's fine. I haven't seen it either. So we'll start with Miro versus Eddie Kingston for the TNT Championship. Hit the floor, right. Franklin Starr.
So we predicted last week 3 stars.
Are we thinking higher or lower since watching it?
What's the match?
Miro versus Eddie Kingston. Also,
everyone wanks over Eddie Kingston, don't they?
Don't like Eddie Kingston.
8 stars.
Don't get Eddie Kingston. Don't like him.
Shall I give you my star rating, then we'll go to Dave Meltzer?
Yeah.
Right. My star rating, 3.5.
Are we going higher or lower?
Ross. I'm going to go lower.
For Dave Meltzer, higher. I'm not saying it.
I've seen the ratings, so I won't partake in this because I've been cheating, frankly. But,
Dave Meltzer gave it a 4.
I agree with you, Peters. I don't understand Eddie Kingston.
No, I don't
like
him. Match.
I think it looks like a shaved Rob Van Dam. I always say this, but I stand by it.
I don't like those machine gun chops either. Look a bit daft, don't they?
But, look a bit daft.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's got you there, Peters.
I knew that anyway.
Go back to race.
Are we moving on to Moxley?
Yeah.
Are we? Yeah. Right.
So
John Moxley versus Satoshi. Right. Yeah, him. Kojima. Kojima.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Brexit Peters.
We predicted 3 stars. I gave it 3.5 again.
Ross, higher or lower than 3.5?
It's got a Japanese fella in it, so it's going to be 8 stars.
4 stars.
4 stars. Was it? I mean, I don't know anything about him, but it was a 2-time IWGP Championship, the same one that Brock Lesnar won.
And then you got Suzuki.
John Moxley's very good. Did Suzuki come out at the end? Yeah. Was it supposed to be Suzuki? Was that the guy who was? I know you said Tanahashi last week that he was supposed to be.
It was meant to be Tanahashi.
But Suzuki.
Which I would have loved to see.
He faced Suzuki on Dynamite.
Dynamite, yeah. It was
but they got the timing off. They got the timing off, didn't they? So they didn't get long.
Yeah.
See, that's a shame.
I think like most of it was in the commercial break.
Surely that's a waste, is it not? Moxley versus Suzuki?
Massive waste.
You'd have thought it should have been pay-per-view.
I think he was there anyway. It was in Moxley's hometown when it was in Cincinnati.
Suzuki's a big name, isn't he?
I think they're having a tag team rematch. Right. Did I say? Moxley's got to get a partner, and he's against Suzuki. And
I was going to say it'll probably be Eddie Kingston.
No, because Eddie Kingston's got a match. He's probably going to have a match against Miro again.
Right.
I think it's in the New York show.
Have they fallen out?
They aren't on AEW. Sorry.
To be fair, it's like Moxley seems to have fallen out with the entire Japanese wrestling roster. So
yeah. So maybe there'll be a Seth Rollins or
GCW champ now then as well, isn't
he? Yeah, he is. Britt Baker versus Chris Statlander.
That's what's going to be in it.
AEW Women's World Championship.
We predicted 3 stars.
Aaron?
I gave it 2.
Higher or lower than 2?
Worst match of the night, I put it down as.
Worse than Paul White.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. But
worst match.
I don't know anything about Chris Statlander, apart from she's an alien.
I feel as though I won't say anything actually. Ross,
so I don't know what. I mean, I ain't watched it. I've got no idea. So I was going to agree with Aaron. 2 stars.
He gave it 4.
Did you really?
I don't think it's a 4-star match. I do think Britt Baker is an absolute star. Britt Baker is brilliant.
Britt Baker is so good as a heel.
She's fantastic. Do you know she was against Nia Jax on Raw once?
Yeah, because WWE tweeted was it? I can't remember what match she was in, and they're
I can't remember, but.
They're like, oh, Nia Jax, the irresistible force, and it was just like 20 seconds. It would just be
they're beating
Britt Baker.
Yeah.
You love the salt, don't you? I love the salt.
Britt Baker is a star. She's brilliant, to be fair. Absolutely brilliant.
But they need to make more, don't they? That's what they. Because who else is in there?
I did write comments against all the matches.
Oh, sorry.
Peters is taking over the show. Don't let him be like the outrageous.
Was it announced before?
Terry Brexit. Sick of it.
I did write here.
Sorry, Peters. Sorry,
Peters.
But Britt Baker, okay match. Great ending. The women's division still has a long way to go, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's quite a consensus about AEW, though, isn't it? That the women's roster is a little bit on the weak side.
I think it's wrestling in general. I think women's wrestling.
There's not been anything on SmackDown women's wise for about 2 weeks, has there? Like matches, anyway.
No, they cut it, didn't they?
It was Zelina Vega, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is very unfortunate.
Poor timing, isn't it?
Yeah, you thought I would just let her get on the show at least. She's lost her dad in 9/11. They're in Madison Square Garden September 10th. Yeah. Put it as a dark match. Do you know what I mean? The crowd wouldn't mind staying for an extra 10, 20 minutes.
There's a dark match anyhow, wouldn't they? So
they had like 2 dark matches anyway, didn't they? Because Charlotte had a match, and I imagine Cena wanting the same match as Charlotte.
No, there's Cena in the Roman Reigns again, weren't they?
Yeah, is that what they did?
I think so. Oh, like a tag match.
Yeah. But
Cena and Mysterio's against the Bloodline.
Yeah, that sounds like that's what they were doing at house show recently. But I'm sure we'll get on to SmackDown a bit because it was a glorious show. It was a really
I think all women's wrestling. I think WWE have got better, but it's not where it should be.
It's not as good as what I feel as though WWE have regressed in women's wrestling.
I agree with Terry there. I think 2 years ago it was solid, and since Becky Lynch has gone on maternity leave, it has gone down the shitter.
I think it's since Ronda Rousey left.
And that as well.
Because if you remember,
at the same time, didn't
Becky pinned Ronda Rousey, and then immediately went into a feud with Lacey Evans. It was just like they just did not build on that at all.
Well, for me, Becky should have lost at WrestleMania to Asuka.
Shayna, she was facing that.
Was it Shayna? I thought it was Asuka.
Yeah,
Shayna. Or did Asuka face him?
No, Asuka was given the championship.
She
should have lost it at WrestleMania, is what I'm saying.
Asuka was the one that was given the championship when Becky found out she was pregnant.
So then lose it a
giving
month
it
later.
Money
She
in the
should have
Bank
lost it.
Yeah,
something like that,
she
wasn't
won
it?
Money in the Bank and then she opened it up. and it was like,
There we
oh,
go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was it.
Well, yeah, she should have lost it at that WrestleMania for me.
Yeah,
And I thought it was a bit weak, wasn't it?
kind of wasted Shayna, aren't they, a bit there?
They've wasted.
Oh,
they've
badly mismanaged Shayna. I just don't think
They don't know what to do with them.
women's just it doesn't seem to. There's not enough of it. I don't care. That we'll just do it even. I don't care. I like a good story and a good match. I don't care if it's men or women. I'm sick of women's wrestling always being best friends with Natalia. As every WWE storyline is, look at this new woman. She's best friends with Natalia.
Flirts with Dolph Ziggler.
It's Tony Storm. Tony Storm's one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. She's had what? She beat somebody Zelina Vega, and then she's not been on for 8 weeks. And then she flutters her eyelashes at bloody Dolph Ziggler, and then she goes away. She's not been on again.
Mm-hmm.
While we're on the subject of women's wrestling, when are WWE just going to sack Nia Jax?
I was going to bring.
She's the most unsafe, probably next to Seth Rollins, the most unsafe wrestler in today's wrestling in WWE.
I think you're harsh on Seth Rollins there personally, but I
don't think so. Ruined Sting's career.
But
the buckle bomb he ruined Finn Balor's big moment.
To be fair,
he did it on Edge Friday night.
Oh yeah,
that buckle bomb is a stupid move anyway.
Yeah, I was very surprised to see Edge take that on Friday.
Nia Jax to me needs to go. Should never have got called up to the main roster when she should have.
So there's only one reason why she's on main roster,
and I shouldn't, because if you smell what the family is cooking.
Yeah. Anyway, should we get back to Dave Meltzer's star rating for that match?
We've got. I'm interested to see what you predicted for this one. I think
you didn't give the rating for the Britt Baker match.
4 stars.
Okay.
4 stars.
We all know what
fucking Alien. 4 stars, ridiculous.
I think. I suspect most people know what the next star rating is, but the Young Bucks versus the Lucha Brothers for the AEW World Tag Team.
I have seen this, and I don't know what it gives. And I imagine I haven't seen it, but I've seen the Lucha Brothers, and they are probably up there with some of my favorite wrestlers. Pentagon Junior, or Pentagon L0M, whatever it's called these days. He's up there in probably top 10 because I ain't seen enough of it, but.
It is brilliant. This match is genuinely brilliant. My only gripe is the Young Bucks are too spotty for my liking. Not pimple spots, just
right. We'll get into it. So we predicted 4 stars.
I mean, you look at the names, you know it's going to be at least 4 because even if it was the shittest match ever, he's going to give it 4.
I give it 5 because there's not many matches out there that I will go over 5 stars for. As we all know.
Do we all know what he's giving it?
Yeah, 5 3/4.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we see what the Young Bucks put in the bio? If it was in the Tokyo Dome, would have been 6. Probably agree.
I don't think so.
I
don't mind the Young Bucks.
I know Dave Meltzer, though, don't you? Anything that's in the Tokyo Dome is at least 6 stars.
Yeah, I don't think the Young Bucks can complain about being treated unfairly by Dave Meltzer.
No, come on.
I don't, they've got 5 and 2. I mean, I kind of agree with you, though. I think he already has a start of what he's going to give. So I think he was already going to give that at least 4.5.
Yeah. That's I agree.
Just on Terry's point of the Young Bucks just being spot artists, should we say? Does it matter? I mean, the whole match was just full of spots, wasn't it?
What I mean in the match, what I mean by that is in the match, that particular match, it's fine. But every single match, do they need to do as many as what they do? No, for me.
No, I mean,
and that's why I can't buy into them. I find them.
I'm not a fan.
Over the top of the Bucks.
I'm not a fan, but I really enjoyed that match.
I really enjoyed the match, to be fair. I mean, I can't complain about the match. It was brilliant.
I'm in two minds because I don't like to see, when you're watching it as a fan at home, I don't like to see all the spots. However, having been in an arena where people are doing absolutely mental stuff and you don't care that they've done about 15 finishes and they're kicking out after every single one, you absolutely love it. So I can understand why everybody loves the Young Bucks, because if you was watching it at home, it's ridiculous. They've just done an absolutely stupid move, and then the next match they're getting pinned with this. But when you're watching the Young Bucks match in the arena, you're probably thinking, "Oh my god, this is the best thing I've ever seen."
Yeah, it's like when the the ladder match in New Orleans. I'm sure that's what you're thinking of us there when you say that.
It was insane.
It was just sport after sport after sport.
Yeah, but it was one of the best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, which I don't like when Meltzer says that's why he gives those like really high ratings, because the crowd really get into it, which again is ridiculous because then the Rock versus Hogan's like 10 stars in it. But like, yeah, I think to Darren's point, does it matter too much if it's just sports and you're enjoying it? Like it's to quote Sarah Miller, it's wrestling. Enjoy it.
And to make it even better, Lucha Brothers won.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got it down as my match of the night. As the highest rated match.
I think it's everyone's match of the night, isn't it, surely? That'll be a match of the year. I
do love the Lucha Brothers. Everything about them.
Right. Next match.
Next up, then, we've got the Casino Women's Battle Royal.
We predicted 3 stars.
Do we want to go through the participants?
No,
we do it last week. If you listen to it,
do we want to go to the Joker?
Ruby Riott, wasn't it? Or Ruby Soho?
Ruby Soho.
As we predicted.
And to be fair, I think she's really good. Don't mind Ruby Soho.
Yeah. Do you know what? I gotta say credit to the people including her in the same bracket as Danielson, Punk, and Cole. You don't mean it, but it's nice to include her. I think credit to those people.
And she's actually got Ruby Soho as a theme song, which is generally.
Have you heard the clip of Dave Meltzer talking about that?
What's that?
It's the most Dave Meltzer thing ever. He goes, "Yeah, I've had that song in my head for like 2 days straight now. And we had to go to a concert because one time I saw the Beatles and then Paul McCartney, and then like I had the songs in my head for like a week after that. So like,
it's just insufferable.
Alvarez is like, you gotta go to a concert to get a song out your head. Like, just, I like Dave Meltzer. I don't like him, but I do like him. Do you know what I mean?
He's just.
Would you like him more if he didn't take himself as seriously?
No, I think that's why I do like him, Ross. It's the same reason I like. It's the same reason I like Jim Ross. Like, he take himself so seriously that you almost like, as long as you're laughing with them and not at them, it's fine. I think. But I like the way that sometimes like Meltzer just goes off on when we listen to his reviews, and he just goes off on one. I think like doesn't matter. I don't like when he sneaks stuff in, or he obviously makes stuff up because people take it as gospel, don't they? You see,
the clickbait, and then he says,
Holly got a lot of trouble for that over there, didn't he? He accidentally affected WWE stock.
Holly have got whoever, right? You don't want to blame the main guys, but Cultaholic have got terrible on their online news. Whoever writes that, I don't know who it is. Mm-hmm. Don't particularly care, but they they go too far, and when you know it's bollocks. It's clickbait. I mean, you get drawn in by the clickbait.
To be fair, though, it has been that story that they ran has been rumored before, so it's not as if it's just out of the blue totally. It has been run a few times before that Disney are interested in WWE.
Spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, though.
Yeah, I know they've had to apologise for it, but to say I don't think it was an unexpected news article because it is linked quite a lot, isn't it, nowadays?
I think it's just the source was just like so.
Yeah, I think the source that's been the issue, isn't it?
Because it's like if we said someone here, it'd be like them going, "Oh yeah, they're off the Wrestling Around podcast. They've announced that VM Punk is arriving on AEW tonight."
I don't know what the source was.
Slice Wrestling, wasn't it?
I know the news video with it on has now gone.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I can still see that happening. To be fair, because it's been rumored that much, hasn't it?
I saw there's like a survey.
Yeah, but is it one of them? Is it like a Chinese whispers rumor where one person says something and then somebody else says, "Oh well, this guy said that," and then they said, "Well, this guy said that."
I think the site they got it from was like renowned for just making shit up. Basically, it wasn't one where it was like because some of them come from really random places. Like the Daniel Bryan story came from Body Slam, which I'd never heard of before.
The Daniel Bryan one came from sort of somewhere.
And then he's got bloody Andrew Zarian off Matman, who follows us on Twitter, so obviously he knows his stuff. He's getting all the scoops now, isn't he? And obviously, I've had a couple of scoops as well.
Yeah, you have, yeah.
Yeah, because I signed up to Fightful Select.
Because you just go whatever show Ross says.
But he's the other one who's like really reliable, isn't he?
Yeah, no, he's up there. I'd love to know the sources are.
Do you remember when I sent you that list of release wrestlers and you were like, "It's going to be bullshit," that, and then like
it was
half an hour later, it all came out, didn't it? Like,
Get back to Ruby Soho
then. So we predicted 3 stars this match. I gave it 3.5.
Did Meltzer give it because it was a?
Meltzer gave it 3.25, so 3.25.
So we're not a million miles away. So I'm just going to backtrack a match here, and back to the Britt Baker match where I said the women's wrestling's got a long way to go. Watching this match, I take back a bit of that statement because this match was probably better than any women's Royal Rumble I've watched.
Right.
Oh.
It's a good concept. However, there's one part of the concept that I cannot stand. It's the fact that 4 women coming out at a time, right? And it's just the same song playing over. It's like just like a generic song playing over.
Yeah.
Is it like when the Raw or SmackDown wrestlers come out to the theme song?
I'm fine with 4 women coming out at the same time because it's like 10 seconds and 10 seconds and 10 seconds. Why don't they play that person's theme tune for them 10 seconds while they're walking to the ring?
Yeah,
I completely agree.
Then you get the pop that way as well, don't you?
Yeah,
that's the best. But I always say this, that when we go to wrestling shows, it's the pops and like the entrances, the promo stuff that I enjoy the most. Like that's the best. That's my favorite part. Like someone comes out and everyone just goes, fucking mental. It's just Ruby Riott, but it's fine. Well, I imagine she got her own because she was on the Jerk, wasn't she?
Yeah, she got
her own theme. Yeah,
I mean, Ruby Riott, she's all right, isn't she? Ruby Soho, what she's called now. Oh, but
Jim
come
Ross
on,
actually called her Ruby Riott, didn't he?
I did.
Yeah,
Ruby Riott is a better name than Ruby Soho.
I don't mind Ruby Soho.
I think Ruby Riott.
There's no song that's like Ruby Riott, is there? So it's.
No, I think it's better.
She's punk, isn't she? Yeah. And that is like one of the best punk songs.
But I mean, let's not say it's like a needle mover because it isn't. She was a mid carder on there. She was a mid carder on AEW.
She's very well loved behind WWE, though, isn't she? By the roster.
Yeah, she can't be the nicest person in the world.
No,
don't mean that I want to pay to see her.
No, I'm not suggesting it is, but I'm just saying that everyone has said very kind words about her, which is quite nice to see, isn't it?
She'll do well there.
World. Yeah, I think
she'll get a lot more TV time than she would have got on WWE.
And I'm not saying she's bad. She's not on the same level as
the problem is
Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, Bayley.
She didn't have the WWE look either. That was an issue, I think, for her, that they didn't look at her as somebody that they could market as much.
I don't think that's true. I just don't think she's anywhere near as good as the people they had at the top. She's not in the same league. She's not in the same league as Charlotte or Asuka or Bayley or Becky or Sasha or even Bianca Belair. She's not in the same league as Bianca Belair. Rhea Ripley's got more of an upside than her. I don't think. I think she's a mid-card wrestler at best. She is. I'm trying to think of a male wrestler to sort of compare it to. I don't know. Dolph Ziggler?
Yeah, I was just going to say Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler? I think, because she's not annoying, but they're not going to get to the top. Every now and then you'll see him in the top program, and yeah, that's fine, but they're never going to be the main guy.
Upper mid-carder.
Upper mid, yeah, mid to upper, yeah.
Yeah.
Get him in, have a feud with them, move on. Don't matter if they lose, don't matter if they win. That's where she's not. Like you said, love. It's funny that everyone's including her in the same as Adam Cole and Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson and
it's because
CM Punk. But
yeah,
to be fair, I wouldn't even include Adam Cole isn't the same as Bryan Danielson or CM Punk because he's not.
I would for a very particular reason, Ross, but I imagine we'll go into that bit in a bit more detail later on. Yeah, so I'll leave it for now.
But let's not pretend it's the same as Ty Dillinger moving across. Yeah, nice one. Well done for you. Gets his more TV time, but I'm not going to watch Dynamite because you're on it.
I think he's becoming.
No, but it's the same sort. I'm same with Kimero. Look, I didn't care on you, Russo. I don't care now.
Ooh, no.
I agree with that.
Ooh, no. He's all right, isn't he?
He's all right.
Have you missed him?
Nothing
No.
Special. Yeah. In AEW, I just want him to lose the title now. Bored of it.
Yeah, I mean, Rusev Day was good, but everyone was saying, he should have put you should have been tag champions at WrestleMania.
No, that WrestleMania we went to, should have won that fatal four-way. That was
he should have won that or whatever. But are you going to put a title on? Like everyone's saying, I should have been World Champion Rusev Day. Yeah, but everyone's shouting Rusev Day. It's not going to last, and now nobody cares. Nobody's saying WWE needs Rusev back right now because the wrestling world's moved on. That is what it is, isn't it? Some people that are destined to be at the top, and fans need to learn that.
Yeah.
I liked Rusev.
I'm not saying he was bad. I'm just saying let's not pretend he was The Rock. You know what I mean?
Could have been. He was a Bulgarian rock crest.
but I mean, it's the same as Zack Ryder. And you say, oh, Zack Ryder did all that Long Island Iced Tea and all that, and he had his YouTube channel. He should have been this. He should have been that. Should he have been that? Yeah, right. Cena squashed him. He got in the program with Cena to start with. He got the Intercontinental title. He got his moment at WrestleMania. But does anybody care that he's gone? No.
Push off stage in a wheelchair.
He's not the same as he's not in the same league as them. Yes, you've done well on YouTube and you're a bit funny, but
speaking of Cena, I've got an a John Cena toy I saw today, which I'll get into afterwards. Next up, we've got Jericho and MJF.
It's probably got about 1 million stars in it.
It's got red ass now, anyway.
So last week we predicted 4.5.
Aaron,
I'll get into that. Right. So I have one big gripe.
Who won? Who won?
Jericho.
Oh, that's boring. Is it going to carry on?
No, that's the end of it now. That's
right.
The end of
them
the
done.
field. Right. So I have one big gripe. Jericho came out to a guy just playing his theme tune on guitar.
Was that the guy from Fozzy?
I think so, and it was horrendous.
Doesn't Tony Khan really love? Is it Judas he comes out to?
Yeah.
Doesn't Tony Khan really love it? So he forces the crowd to sing along, or is that just a massive rumor?
Everyone does sing along. I don't think he forces them to sing along.
I think there was the one where he was banned from having it played, and it was like they were putting lyric sheets out of that one because that was the whole point was the crowd was going to sing along. But it's only like going to. I don't mind it. It's like, sometimes you go to football games and they send out like lyric sheets early and stuff like that. I never had an issue with it really.
The only lyric sheet I ever got was the Witzer Corner guy.
Yeah, it's Blackburn Rovers when I went to I used to go to Blackburn Rovers games through my football team. We used to get like We Are the Rovers or whatever.
That's hard to remember.
I don't have a problem with them handing stuff out because if it gets the crowd invested into it a bit more, I think it's.
But it's like if WWE did it, like everyone would have been pissed out for it.
Like a mental, wouldn't they?
Yeah, of course it would. But no, Judas is a very sing-alongable song.
It's probably one of the best wrestling theme tunes.
I really like Judas.
I saw someone complain that too many people sing along to too many theme songs now.
That's part of the fun, though. I mean, do you remember when we went to see Takeover 2? In Blackpool, and they're all singing. Everyone's singing along to Imperium song.
Yeah,
that's part of it.
Up there with the best songs.
And then when Undisputed Era's thing came out, and everyone does Boom or did Boom. That's just
I think it was someone complaining. I think it was Punk's entrance to a complaint on that. Like the crowd was singing. If they're singing, you're not popping. Was their argument.
Well, to me, if you sing, you are popping.
You get the initial pop. I mean, how long do they want the pop to last for? So you get the initial pop, don't they? Then they come out. Do they want them to carry on for 3 minutes? I
remember singing Vince's that time when it stopped, and Vince was like, "What the fuck?" Because I mean, that was the first time it happened, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's what it's about, though, isn't it? That's what wrestling is. It is doing stuff like that.
That's what made Nakamura like unbelievable. It's weird now when you go back to watch his debut against Sami Zayn when the crowd out sings, they don't know his song.
Yeah.
But you watch every takeover after that, and especially when it gets the violinist and playing out and all that, it's part of the package, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like the crowd singing Goldberg. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's Sami Zayn with his everyone go doing the word bit. That to me, I've got no problem with that. Popping's popping.
Yeah, I think a theme song should get crowd involvement. Yeah. I think that's what a good theme song is. A memorable theme song. That's what you need. That's the whole point, isn't it? Rather than sort of like you go back to WCW and can you name any apart from Kevin Nash's or the NWOs? Not really. DDPs maybe.
I think WCW.
Sting. The man's heart is full of deceit. It burns up.
You know what I mean? There's only like 5.
There's only 2 I can think of off the top of my head: NWO and DDP.
The dark shadow takes
place. That's it.
Yeah, I do love Kevin Nash's Wolfpack one.
What about Big Papa Pump?
Holler if you hear me.
Sirens, yeah.
Booker T, he had the same one WCW.
Yeah, it was very similar.
Imagine like you sing along to that now, because no one sang along back in the day, but
no.
Booker T comes out.
Imagine the full crowd going, "Can you dig it?
Yeah.
Sucker!"
And everyone's good.
Did the crowd used to do "Holler If You Hear Me" as well? I don't know.
No. It used to. I'm pretty sure that literally that Raw after WrestleMania in Dallas was the first time it happened.
Yeah, because shouting.
So it's thanks to us, basically. What I'm saying.
Yeah.
Edges was this week, wasn't it? On SmackDown, the crowd were in MSG. The crowd went mental for Edge.
Oh, that crowd was so good all night. Such a good show on SmackDown on Friday night.
Which we'll get into after we've done AEW.
We predicted 4.5. I gave it 4.5. I just wrote Rick Boog ripoff.
Oops. Yeah.
It's a slower paced match, but Jericho's technical ability is still there. He's still doing jump the line sort of the top rope, and he's still got. Anyone that disagrees with me, like he's one of the greatest of all time, can suck it.
Oh, he's up there, isn't he? He's got to be up there.
Definitely.
You think 50-year-old wrestlers who can still do what he does?
I think MJF is brilliant as well.
I think
MJF is probably one of the greatest heels in the wrestling business today.
His promo work
top 5 without a doubt.
This is not afraid to get booed. And that's what you got to be in. Also makes a good heel.
He's not a cool heel, which is why Kevin Nash ruined wrestling.
Yeah, I know you hate Kevin Nash.
He was Samoa Joe's bodyguard as well, wasn't he? Once upon a time.
Yeah.
The fact he's only 25 as well is just
he's got.
Makes you sick, doesn't it?
Yeah, he's got a big career ahead of him.
Yeah.
Big Dave, you might be surprised about this. Gave it 3 3.75.
Dave can suck it.
What do you get? What was the Franklin? What was the
I
Franklin starting?
4.5, didn't we?
4.5.
4.5. I gave it 4.5.
Bloody hell.
We've got Charles Montgomery Punk versus Darby Allin up next.
I mean, I haven't seen this, but I was kind of intrigued. But then, I don't know.
Don't you think he's in such good shape considering he's been out of the business for 7 years?
Punk.
Is he still doing martial arts? It's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu he does and stuff like that, isn't it?
Do we think it's weird that he wears tights now instead of pants?
Yeah, I was saying this before the call.
That is a weird look.
I thought I couldn't get used to it, but then
is it like Jericho going from tights to pants? That was weird for him.
He's like mid-40s now, isn't he?
Yeah, but don't you think any wrestler over the age of 40 should be wearing like leggings and not pants?
Yeah, Jericho going from tights to pants was weird because why would you make that decision? Surely that's like a regression rather than a progression.
You read the story about that?
Yeah, Vince is just like, you'd be covering those legs.
Yeah, so he wore pants for the first time, and he saw, I think it was Michael Pierce Hayes, and he was like, oh my God, Jericho, you look fantastic. And then he saw Lance Storm, and Lance Storm went, you look stupid. And he said, if it was the other way around, he'd have gone back in and he'd have put his trousers on. But because he saw somebody who was positive, I'm sure it was Mike Pierce, he saw somebody who was positive about it first. Like, he thought, oh no, I'll keep it. And then Lance Storm said it was stupid. But imagine if he just walked out, Lance Storm, he's stupid. And
he did used to look naked with the belt, didn't he, when he was World Heavyweight Champion?
Yeah.
This is such a massive. Yeah, he used to look naked when he was knocking down.
We predicted 4. I gave it 4.
Oh.
Was it good? Was he back to his sort of best?
It's not like to his best, but he's still got it. He has still got it.
So when he's warmed up, so in like 6 months' time, do you think he'll be?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Darby Allin again, but he's going to be
He's going to be huge. He's not going to be huge in terms of body because he's
going to be a big star. He's going to be one that people go, oh my God, he is ridiculous. Because even from the little bits that I've seen of him, I've always thought he was quite impressive. Mm-hmm. Like, he's like a young Jeff Hardy. He just does not give a fuck what he jumps off or anything like that. And he'll just do something completely mind-blowing. And everybody as well seems to mention him as a particular person they want to work with as well. So I think that's always a good sign. So I think he'll be...
I'm taking it CM Punk 1.
Yeah. 28 as well, Darby Allin. So again, another youngster.
Makes you sick.
Do we not think, though, that CM Punk should have beat someone a little bit bigger?
I don't know. Because a lot of people want to work with Darby Allin when you look at it.
I know, but that could have been the second match. Come on, CM Punk's first match. Put him against Omega. Come on.
No, I think Darby Allin was the perfect opponent. Main reason he has got, even though CM Punk won, he has put Darby Allin over so much for that one match. And that's what it's all about. He's putting over the younger talent.
He could have done the next match, though, couldn't he?
Yeah. I think, to your point, Ross, because I'm not that into AEW as much as WWE. When I was like Darby Allin, I was like, just kind of face paint. But saying that, the buy rate and the Dynamite rating last week kind of proved me completely wrong.
I didn't go up, right?
It went it's very, very high.
Oh,
very high.
Yeah.
I just think, capitalise. You've got arguably the biggest star you can possibly get. Put the belt on him. Let's capitalise. Let's
don't go big guns in all at once. I think they've done the right thing here,
especially with what the arrivals that happen later as well. I think it leads to potentially better things.
My worry is that he doesn't win it straight away, and then nobody cares when he does because he's just another guy on the roster.
I don't think he'll ever win it.
No,
I don't think he'll ever win the title. I don't think he needs to.
Does he need to? That's the question. Does he need to?
I don't think he'll do it for long. I think he just wants to get the sour taste of WWE out of his mouth.
I think for me as well, he been back in for 7 years. Are they really going to risk a poor match in the main event against a Kenny Omega? Or are they going to put him against somebody?
They did it with The Rock.
I don't think it would have mattered though. I don't think it would have mattered if it was like not. I'm not going to say it was going to be poor, but I don't think it wouldn't matter if it was 5 stars. They could have just done it by them looking at each other alone, sort of Rock Hogan.
Just going back to my question, does he need to win the title? Because I don't think he does.
No, I don't think he needs to win.
I don't think he does.
The top of the card stacked. Like that's the thing. That's my only fear about AEW is that. And I think I've said it before, haven't I? It's like you pop in for like new debuts all the time, and after a while, it's going to have to settle down.
This is what I'm interested to see.
Then how's the card going to fall after that? That's what I'm interested to see.
I was going to make.
I think Rampage will become like a 2-hour show, and they'll do some sort of brand split to a certain extent.
They're going to have to because.
Do you think there's another title?
Yes.
They're going to have to do something because it is becoming very big.
Yeah. Tony Khan says that the TNT title is not a mid-card title. If
that's the case, I think
also like
mid-card titles.
What's it called? What's the main one? Dynamite is moving to TBS, isn't it? But I think Rampage is staying on TNT, is it not? So then surely you would just make that your title on Rampage, yeah.
This is what I'm interested to see because everyone whinges about WWE wasting wrestlers, and they do to a certain extent, and they don't get used properly, and their favourites, they should win this and they should win that. But you can only have one champion. Somebody has to lose. So this is what I'm interested to see because at some point, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Kenny Omega, John Moxley, Jericho, they have to lose to somebody. They can't all be at the top of the card at all times, can they? I know, but do you know what I mean? There's going to be a point where they're going to go back to the mid card.
Well, there might be a time like where they're not on the show.
Yeah,
that's kind of my like the Revival or FTR now. I haven't really been prominently featured for a good long time now.
That doesn't help because the thing is injury though.
Yeah, but even before then, it was just they were just kind of pissing out the mid card a bit.
It was the way it was when they left WWE. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Has anybody moved to the next level? I don't think
that's
so.
what I mean. It's just like, has anyone mentioned Malachi Black in the last couple of weeks?
He's against Cody.
He is against Cody next week, isn't he? But
tonight.
Isn't that for next week?
Just one note though. While we're talking about this, so I've watched Dynamite and Rampage following on from All Out. No one seems to be lost within the roster, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And from what they've done with Dynamite and Rampage, it makes you tune into both.
Yeah.
To see the aftermath. Yeah, I think we watched SummerSlam, didn't we? This year's SummerSlam. I didn't tune into Raw or SmackDown because I don't watch either of them anymore. Don't think you need to. I think WWE, the problem with WWE is you can tune into a pay-per-view and kind of pick up where you left off a month ago.
I find WWE a pay-per-view is a football match. Raw and SmackDown are your week's training. I'm going to have to religiously defend SmackDown now. Hang on.
It's my favourite show of the week.
Hang on. That was before SmackDown has got to the level it's at. I've not watched SmackDown for a while, but I am aware that it's very, very good. But I still feel as though, as Aaron's just said, you can watch a WWE pay-per-view and pick it up near enough what's gone on from the last.
Because the storylines in WWE
got any like 10 real years. Sort of hindrance. But I am aware there is a lot of good stuff going on SmackDown at the moment.
So I get to your point because I don't watch Raw, but I don't feel like when I watch the pay-per-views it hinders me that much.
No,
but that's because the matches are just them going against each other, or them in tag teams with other feuds, or it's a tag team feud and it's one against the other. Right. So they can get how many matches can they get out of different tag team partners going against each other?
20.
Yeah.
And then putting them in with another field, and that's a different match. And then I don't even know how many times they've advertised a match. Some people have come out and then they've just gone, fuck it, you're all let's just do fucking 3-on-3.
Mm-hmm. There was that famous incident a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it, where they advertised 3 matches for Raw and didn't do any of them.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the big hindrances for me with Raw is they chop and change it way too much. If they were more consistent with the stuff that they said they were going to do, people would be invested in it more. But if you're advertising 3 matches and you think, I'll watch that. You think, I like the look of that. Whatever it is, and then it's not on, you go, then they advertise something for next week that you want to watch, that you think I'd want to watch that, but then you think, hang on, they've advertised these 3 and I don't know that, so I'm not going to watch it.
But then also because like,
but then if it is on, I'll find it on the internet somewhere.
Yeah, in WWE's like it's not really fantasy dams and more, but like the matches that they scrapped, like no one cared about anyway.
Well, no,
so, like,
but
that's probably an issue, really.
Do you know
like,
do you know the point I'm making though?
Yeah,
like, I'm not suggesting the matches. I don't know what the match.
No, I think that's the issue. Like, I kind of agree with you. Like, I think it's no one gives a shit about the matches they announce, but then like at the same time, like last week they had on Raw they had a tag team turmoil match. Randy Orton middle won. There they are. It's a hair business. So well, the two of them left. Lashley and MVP won it. But then I just announced next week now, which will have already happened, that they're just going to go straight ahead to Lashley versus Orton on Raw for the title.
So what's the point?
Well, wasn't that at the pay-per-view?
Well, it was going to be, because they were going to face for the tag team titles on Raw before the pay-per-view.
Right.
But now they're just going, fuck it, we're just going to do we're just doing a title match. Yeah, I think it will happen now.
Is it going to be a schmoz?
But then, what was the point in last week's show?
Exactly, and that's the problem is
unless it's flopping around
with the stuff that they're doing. That if anyone was to get excited by something Raw, you're not guaranteed it's even going to happen. So
why?
I just can't get my head around it. It's the same creative team on two shows. I can't get it. I don't get it.
I just started this now
for NXT.
I'm just thinking right now, just to start this theory, like literally a minute ago. Vince McMahon is very much like Arsene Wenger. So Arsenal were the top team, weren't they? Where they brought in sort of all these real powerful players like Thierry Henry, Patrick Vieira, Silva Wiltord, Gilberto Silva, all these players. Won the league, went invincibles, top of the world, nothing could beat them. And then for some reason, he changed his philosophy to small technical players. And they were never the same again. They hung on. Arsene Wenger left. Arsenal were fucking shit stream out of now. WWE's the same. So are
you suggesting Vince McMahon is now Mikel Arteta?
No, I'm suggesting Vince McMahon is still Arsene Wenger.
That's Triple H.
So if you listen to Bruce Pritchard's podcast, especially the older one, or the older shows, he said they used to plan WrestleMania to WrestleMania. They get all the storylines and they do it all like that, and then they planned it that way. Even Vince Russo's era, they still did the same. They planned where they would go in and then they'd work their way to it. Whereas now, it seems to me, Vince doesn't know he doesn't do that anymore. I don't know why he's changed, but he doesn't do that anymore. It's very much, I think, like Wenger, where he's lost his way of winning, but he thinks this is the way to do it now and he won't change back.
Yeah.
So now they don't plan for the long term, and it shows because they don't do any long term planning at all. There's maybe like one thing, but imagine when the Mega Powers broke up. They knew that was going to happen a year later. They knew that we're going to break the Mega Powers up a year later, and they planned out. They worked everything out, but now it's
the last one.
Now what happened? You're lucky if you get 3 months out of a good storyline.
The last long-term booking I can think of was Rock Cena when they announced it the night after WrestleMania for next WrestleMania. That's the last bit of long-term booking I can think of.
But I don't know what's changed in Vince. Something must have happened. Like the reason for. I think the reason for having a full creative team now is because Vince Russo left them and they was like, oh, shit. He's gone. We're screwed. That's why he has a team now. So if somebody leaves, it doesn't matter. You can carry on going regardless. Something must have happened to Vince McMahon or changed within the business. So why he's now booking shows, if you believe all the reports, he's rewriting shows half an hour before. And that's apparently why all the matches that were promised wasn't on, because he rewrote the show an hour, 2 hours before the show started.
It just makes a complete mockery of the creative team.
This is why Zelina Vega didn't get on well, that
was because the overran, wasn't it? I think I assume it was Edge and Rollins overran.
Yeah, but do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why Vince has changed. I don't know what's happened, but something has. They need to get back to. AEW need to do the same. I think that's just the best way to do it. The WWE should wait from WrestleMania to WrestleMania. It should plan what's going on, and we'll have long-term booking, because they've been anything now. And if they did long-term booking, you wouldn't get the same match 3 times in a row, which is what pisses me off.
No, that's the most boring part.
I always go on about it. The Rock, Triple H, the Rock, John Cena, the Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Triple H. They didn't have that many matches together, yet you remember all of their feuds. You would say Triple H versus Mick Foley was one of the best feuds of all time. Triple H versus The Rock was one of the best feuds of all time. The Rock versus Stone Cold was the best feuds of all time. They've only wrestled about 5 times. If it was nowadays, they'd wrestled 3 times, 2 B pay-per-views, and then the main pay-per-view, blown off, and then they've done it again. Randy Orton and John Cena, 582 times, I think they've wrestled for the title.
Yeah, they sent out like random matches on SmackDown and stuff, didn't they?
They've ruined Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Ruined
They
it.
did that.
But it's too many times.
Inbound.
Yeah, he'll go there. I think they both will.
Sammy's contract's up at the end of this year. He's rumoured, and Kevin Owens is doing
January,
cryptic stuff on Instagram, hasn't he?
The old Mount Rushmore locations.
Would you like a scoop of news that I got 17 minutes ago?
Go on. Then.
Go on.
Kevin Owens' deal ends January 31st, 2022, which means this year, because the Royal Rumble's in February for the first time, he'll be before the Royal Rumble. It was renegotiated. It was meant to be 2023, but they renegotiated prior to the pandemic. Nothing to do with the pandemic. They renegotiated for more money each week for a shorter contract.
Yeah, so they got the same money overall, but smart move.
Right,
for him.
We'll go on to we'll go through the rest of the card, and then I've got some. I think there is some interesting comparisons between the Monday Night Wars and what's happening right now.
Right,
we'll go for the rest of the card first.
Paul White versus QT Marshall.
We predicted 1.5. I give it 0.
Dud.
So within.
Are we all agreed? Dud is 0.
Yeah.
Something.
So it probably lasted 3 or 4 minutes.
I can tell you, 3 minutes 10 seconds.
So within that,
longer than me.
Within that short time, a 49-year-old Paul White, who is not in good shape at all, just
wrestled. When was the last time he wrestled? Was it over a year ago?
Longer than that.
Was it McIntyre versus Joe McIntyre after that?
He last made an appearance.
Wasn't it?
His last appearance was the Legends Night of the 4th of January 2001. Whether he wrestled that night or not, I do not know. Oh, no.
The only one I can remember, he was Joe McIntyre's
He last
first...
wrestled in an unsanctioned match against Orton on July 20th, 2020. Of Raw.
So well over a year then.
So within that match, Paul White has single-handedly wrecked QT Marshall and the Factory's career.
QT Marshall.
You heard it here first, because you don't send someone out there who's not wrestled a match in a year and bury talent.
I heard a lot of rumours as well that QT Marshall isn't actually that good of a wrestler as well.
No, he's not. He's fucking terrible.
Yeah, and he's only really there because he's Cody's mate.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? He had a feud with Cody, didn't he?
He literally is Cody's mate.
Is he the Brutus Beefcake to Hulk Hogan?
Pretty much, yeah. Are we predicting Dave gave this higher than a dud?
You already said it, yeah? Did you not already say it?
That was your opening rant.
A 1 star.
Yeah.
1 star.
Yeah.
You already said that because you said it should have been minus.
Yes, I forgot that I'd covered that.
The people want to see. I thought everyone, because I like Big Show. I'm a massive fan of him. I love the Big Show. It should come back. Paul White show, fine. Paul White and Mark Henry traveling around. Do they both have AEW now? I think they do. Don't they?
They do. They should do that. Yeah.
Get them on a travel show, right? Get them in a small car driving around because I will watch it every week.
Little Fiat 500.
Yes, but do I want to see Big Show wrestle? No, I don't. I don't care for it. I don't know what.
I did write a quick note about that as well. Like the last time I saw the Big Show, he was in very, very good shape. Now he looks very out of shape. And I know he's had some surgeries in the past year, hasn't he? But
wrestlers are so sad.
Was it about a year ago when he was posting all them photos on Instagram and he was ripped?
Yeah.
Now he's just fat again.
Yeah.
His last match was it? It might not be his last match, but he had that match against Drew McIntyre. It was like a dark match.
You just said it was his last. I think his last televised match was July 2020 against
Randall.
Again, match against Randy Orton.
Yeah, for anyone who listen, I wasn't here. Just on the audio.
But it's so wrestlers, man. It's so sad to wrestlers who can't give it up. I mean, you've had Big Show. You've been going for over 20 years. You've had your time. I know it's really hard. Like, I'm a big fan of boxing, and this week, Evander Holyfield had a match against Vitor Belfort, a former UFC fighter, and nobody wanted to see it. They even had Donald Trump on commentary. Nobody wanted to see it. Man, I watched a lot of Evander Holyfield's previous stuff. And I loved God, get that man out of anything. And I love Evander Holyfield, but it's not the same. I don't want to see him fight anymore. I don't want to see The Undertaker wrestle anymore. I don't want to see Paul White wrestle anymore. I don't want to see them. There is some exceptions, like Jericho is 50, but Jericho is a very smart man, and he was out of the business for quite a while. And if you take away his Fozzy runs...
Are you ready to watch Saudi Arabia then and watch all those names that you've just mentioned?
I can't think who's going to wrestle it.
I've got no idea.
I don't want to see Goldberg. I don't want to see old wrestlers go for... I don't want to see Ric Flair wrestle anymore. I don't want to see...
You don't want to see him go for his 17th title?
No, I don't.
You don't want to see him fanging and banging on a train?
I have seen that, and it was all right, wasn't it, I guess? But I don't want to see these old wrestlers wrestle anymore. I don't want to see it.
There's a solution, though. There's a solution to all these out of shape old wrestlers who were past it.
Oh, God.
DDP yoga.
Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I wondered what you were going to say there. Thank Christ for that.
No.
You don't want it to get to a point where DDP has to save these guys' lives again. I'm not saying it is, because they're not like it doesn't same dark pass as Jake the Snake or Scott Hall was, but you don't want to see them get horrendous. You just look at Goldberg drop Taker on his head, didn't he?
Yeah.
Imagine if that had a paralyzed Taker. Let's just imagine. Yeah. I know it hasn't, but let's imagine that it has, and Taker couldn't walk or wrestle anything for a completely needless match.
Yeah, I think you can do it, but put him in with young, safe guys. Like, I feel like Goldberg's one against Dolph was great because no one cares about Dolph. Came in, killed him 2 minutes, then killed him again, then went back and then killed him again. It's great.
So you're all basically saying that you would not watch a death match in AEW with like John Moxley versus Ric Flair.
No, I would
totally watch because aren't AEW teasing Tully Blanchard versus Sting now?
Oh, come on, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it.
Well, but this is the thing, like, because I was watching a YouTube video, and they were like, "Oh, I kind of do want to see it," and the other guy was like, "Is this just because it's an AEW? Because you would not be saying this in WWE."
I just don't want to. Why are they doing it though? Just give, and I get how hard it is, and I do, but just stop. It's not wrestling's not a thing where you can go for a bet because it hurts. Stop.
Tell that to Terry Funk.
I don't want to see that anymore. I don't want to see Terry Funk bust himself open anymore. I don't want to see Ric Flair. I've watched Ric Flair's TNA run after it. Ric Flair had the perfect sending off from wrestling, and I've watched his TNA run afterwards, and it's just sad.
Yeah, it was like the Scrubs without JD, right? That was.
It's just
TNA
sad.
Run.
Sting can still go though. Sting can still go.
Yeah, for a table every week.
Yeah, I'm down.
I think it's like some because they don't end on their own terms. That's what gives them the itch to get back in. I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean there is exceptions. Like Edge, I'm loving Edge being back.
Yeah,
and he's getting on, but I think he's.
I think he'll only do like a year, and then it'll be like, right, I'm going out on my own terms now, and that'll be. He's done. It's
the ones who shouldn't be wrestling. Like Taker shouldn't have gone on as long. Taker, I hope he doesn't ever come back.
He is being rumoured to come back.
Yeah, for
SmackDown.
For NXT.
He got NXT.
That might have been a meme that I saw then.
No, he's rumoured to come back.
That's got to be a meme. NXT's got to be a meme.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah. Undertaker.
He's had a great sending off. Do we want to see him?
He could be on there. He could be on there.
I don't mind him being back.
He needs a proper sending off with fans there.
I don't know if he can though anymore.
Move on to the main event.
It's just sad. It's like old Yeller, innit? Put him out of the misery.
Would you not like take another cinematic match though? Then it's finally gone.
Oh, but does he need one? Because I thought the one against AJ Styles was perfect for what it was.
But just Undertaker's career finishing against AJ Styles.
Yeah.
Who do you want his finishing against Kane? Do you want to see Kane and Undertaker go against each other?
Sting.
Do we want to see that anymore? Yeah. Until 50-year-old bloke? Do we?
Yeah, we do.
60-year-old bloke.
Saudi Arabia should, and I can't believe them do it. Ridiculous.
What they should do, right? Vince McMahon, I hope you're listening. Right, get the BSK versus Roman Reigns and the Usos.
BSK versus Click. That's
and Afra and Seeker as well. Get them in there. Why not? There's enough of them in there.
Yeah.
Right. Last but not least, Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage for the AEW World Championship.
I'm assuming Omega retains.
Right. So we didn't actually give this a star rating last week. We must have got waylaid somewhere. So what?
4 stars?
I give it 4 stars. Bang on.
4.25.
I mean, Christian can go okay. Let's be honest. Awesome, Christian's very good, isn't it? Kenny Omega is very, very good. It is what it is.
Best in the world.
Yeah, well, it's number one on the PWI, isn't it? Yeah.
Is that agree?
That
I don't agree.
PWI is kayfabe, isn't it?
Half kayfabe, half. But 100% should have been Roman. I'm disgusted at this choice, frankly.
He's had a very good year.
He's the best wrestler on the planet. I'm not having it.
I've not seen anything off it.
I agree with you.
He's not a wrestler.
It's the best. He's just done it.
Best sports entertainer.
I don't care what he is. He's in those ropes. He's the best at what he does. Right?
Does he know any more than 3 moves?
Spot, yes, he does. Sometimes you don't even need to. Like that's what makes him better. Like when you take technically, like Omega might be better, but like when you get the whole package, like I'd much rather listen to a Roman promo than a Kenny Omega promo any day of the week.
I don't know. He's good with Don Callis.
Yeah, he's not Heyman though. Heyman
was great on this week's SmackDown.
Fantastic on that one. Where he just kind of like switched and tried to become Heyman's advocate. I mean, Lesnar's advocate again.
Yeah. The pop was huge.
Yeah, that crowd was so good. But yeah, I think like there's a choice of both of them, like between Omega and Roman Reigns. But for me, I think they need to acknowledge Roman. But also, I did see that Kenny Omega did an interview with PWI on the back of that. And I don't think Roman ever would. And I think that's sometimes why there's the rest of the media. I don't think they're getting paid by, I mean, maybe elsewhere is, but I don't think they're getting paid by AEW for the most part. But I do think they're friendlier to him because they're friendlier to them.
Right, that makes sense.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
you're going to get more access. So
yeah, it's like we always have.
You're not going to start writing horrible things, are you? Then you don't get your access anymore.
Yeah, that's it. Like, we always have a go at Sidgwick because he blocked us, but we always praise Lord Pacitti because he joins our Twitch streams. So it's the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all the same.
This match, anyway, huge pop for this. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
I can, yeah.
Bryan Danielson.
And his new theme tune is banging, to be fair.
Well, Adam Cole came out first, didn't he?
He did?
Yes.
And then...
Yeah, he got a huge pop, and then obviously aligned himself for the Elite.
Yeah.
After they killed him in
This is one thing that, I mean, I watch AEW quite a lot. There's one thing that I can't understand, right? The heel and face divide is so blurred.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I know they're all big stars. They've come from WWE or in New Japan or wherever. But Kenny Omega gets cheered. Adam Cole's still getting cheered. Britt Baker's still getting cheered, even though they're coming out of the heel tunnel.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand why they have the heel tunnel, to be honest, because they've always said, like, oh, it's shades of grey, isn't it? But they've got, like, that baby face and heel.
I quite like that.
I like the idea of it, but then, like, if you think it would match the storylines, when you're a bit like TNA, I suppose.
Was it the point where Cody was
Cody comes up through the middle?
But wasn't he like wasn't he a face when he was a promo, but a heel when he wrestles?
It's like
bullshit like that.
John Moxley comes through the crowd.
Yeah,
so it's like he's probably the biggest tweener on the show, to be honest.
But I think this is what we're going back to MJF. Why does everybody love MJF? Because he's not afraid to upset people.
Yeah.
Whereas I think, and this is why Kevin Nash ruined wrestling, because it's cool to be a cool heel.
Yeah, it's like if Adam Cole wants heat, don't do the baby thing. Straight up heat, straight away.
Yeah. Which do you remember when he came out when we went to Blackpool and we watched
it's weirdly I watched it this morning.
He didn't do baby until right at the end of the crowd were waiting because I think they expected the crowd to boo them because they wanted the appearance wings. It was the UK, whereas we were just buzzing to see Adam Cole.
Yeah, and didn't do it until they went off air, did they?
Yeah,
but yeah. So I think Adam Cole is the most important signing.
So you've got some strong opinions about this.
No, the thing is, like, I don't have strong opinions. That was my point. I put on Twitter, I put like 2 ways. Like, I can't work out either it's a fucking bold move in one sense because he's gone through NXT's main guy for 4 years. They said, "Do you want to come to the main roster?" He said, "No, I'm going to go to the upstart company."
Are we believing what his main roster run was supposed to be?
Yes.
Well, Keith Lee's manager. Are we believing that?
I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing, right? But
they're being fucking terrible booking.
I just can't imagine it.
I can't imagine
Leo Rush. I understood because who the fuck's Leo Rush? But Adam, come on,
don't be saying that on the internet, Ross. Everyone loves him now. But no, I don't like. I don't think he would have necessarily ended up being his manager full time, but it would have been like a good way to like he was doing the promos because I don't really like Keith Lee's promos. I always take the piss when I'm doing storyline. It's like, yeah, I'm Keith. Like I just like it speaks too slowly for me.
Sounds like bait.
So if they were kind of a bit of a tag team at first, just get into it. Like I would have been all right with that. I don't because I think Meltzer's a bit cheeky sometimes when it comes to WWE news. He knows what people will react to and he says it, which I get because he needs people to click on his website, everyone, and listen to his podcast. We all do, right? That's why I'm outrageous on Twitter. But my thing with Adam Cole was it's either a really bold move, him moving across from like being main guy in NXT, could have gone to the main roster, said no, I'm going to go to AEW because he's not got like Bryan Danielson now, Big Show, Paul White, Mark Henry, even Chris Jericho is another one. If they want to go, if their contracts end.
CM Punk is in some.
Maybe CM Punk less because it sounds like WWE's really well interested, isn't it? From what we've read.
Oh, did they not ask him? Or...
Apparently, Fox asked him on behalf of WWE, and WWE were like, "We don't want you to ask him, please. Like, please stop."
Apparently, Fox offered to pay CM Punk's salary, wages.
I think like WWE were like, "Oh, we can't afford him," and Fox thought, "Oh, we'll pay," and then they were like, "Still no." Actually, is what I heard. Oh, I read. But yeah, so it's either a really bold move in that sense because like they can go back, so they could go back anytime they want. Adam Cole, if NXT is going to change the way and go back to developmental, then really that NXT run doesn't count for anything in terms of 4 or 5 years down the line. Like, oh, he was really good at NXT. That'd be like, oh yeah, that's the guy who was really good on Velocity. Like, it might not matter soon. So he doesn't have that.
NXT in 5
years. Does it matter?
No, so for him, it has to go really well. If he wants to go back to the, I mean, he might not need to. AEW might last forever, but if he wants to go out to WWE, it has to go really well in AEW. So in that way, it's a risk, right? But on the other side, is he just kind of slipping in with his elite mates? It's a bit, he's back in his comfort zone. He's hanging out with the Young Bucks and stuff again. He's with his mates, and that's what I can't work out. Is because
do you not think though that the elite are probably the biggest faction on the planet?
I don't remember them being in the bloodline.
You
don't get me to speak ill of Roman.
They're all ex-Bullet Club, all of them.
Yeah.
You've got some of the biggest wrestlers in the world in that faction.
We're saying like, it shouldn't have been.
Yeah, but the NWO was, but they also had Virgil.
Yeah, but it's not even that. It's like you were saying, it shouldn't have been Keith Lee's manager, and that would have been terrible. But now he's just Adam Cole's mate, isn't he? That's
Omega's mate.
Oh, yeah, still on. Yeah, he's Adam Cole, isn't he? Omega's mate. Omega's his own best friend as well. So I can't. I'm conflicted on this.
What you're saying by the elite's the biggest faction in wrestling? Arguably, it is. They're probably one of the most popular. But it's just because you're in it doesn't make you a big star.
My thoughts are.
So he was one of the top stars though when he was in Bullet Club out in Japan, wasn't he?
Well, yeah, and it's interesting.
He's slipping back into that.
This is what I'm saying with AEW.
So that's why I can't work out if he's going back to his comfort zone or it's a bold move. Do you know what I mean? I'm like,
it'll be interesting.
I'm conflicted. I'm intrigued to see how it goes.
It'd be interesting to see how they book it because let's not forget Billy Gunn was in DX.
Yeah,
one of the biggest factions of all time, but Billy Gunn. It'd be interesting because somebody has to, because not everyone can be at the top, can they? That's why this is what I'm really intrigued to see where AEW is in a year or 6 months to a year to see where they are because all these people have come through and like you said, but they can't always be relying on debuts. So they're going to have to, not that I think that they are relying on debuts, but that's all their big pops now are debuts. There's going to be a point where
they've got one more to come, haven't they?
Yeah, but
two more probably.
There's going to be a point where now where people going across they're not as important because they've already got all the big ones.
Debatable, right? So you've got two huge.
Yes, if you get Owens is up there with.
No, not even discounting them. So talking about free agents right now, 2 of the biggest signings that you could have possibly in the world.
Who?
You've got Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
And also, I have this scoop from the man himself. Let me just pull up.
Mick Foley.
No.
He wishes.
So he is the most famous pro wrestler on TikTok without having a match in 3 years. For no reason. Your hero is returning soon, and you'll cheer me because you believe in my actions. Guess who tweeted that today?
Yeah, is it Gangrel?
No, he's hungry.
Ryback.
There we go.
Is he just even give shit when it comes back?
Ryback is in ring imminent, I suppose. It's coming back.
I just think
AEW aren't going to sign Ryback, but
nobody cares as they are. Peter's go on.
Well, I need poops.
You could have just left.
Yeah, no, but I didn't want it to just go, did I?
You could have just left. Like Lou left earlier.
Should we all say bye now? Because you're probably going to be about an hour, aren't you?
No, he's weirdly quick. He's weirdly quick,
show.
isn't he?
Yeah.
Massive asshole.
Brown rain. Bye.
Just drops out of that.
Right, we'll just fucking carry on.
I've got to edit that now.
I know.
Let's leave it in.
Yeah, leave it in.
Yeah.
Take it as a piece of shit. Don't listen. Right. I was going to say about it. Yeah, I think my thoughts would be in a year's time when all the dust settles and all the big stars have either moved or that there's not going to be many more who can move.
No.
Where does everybody fit in? And that's because that's the thing with WWE, isn't it? When NXT wrestlers come up, not everyone can be in the main event, and people get upset by that. Somebody has to lose.
This is where I think Rampage is going to get increased in time length. I think some sort of brand split will come about.
Even then, you've only got limited options at the top.
Well, but not everyone needs to be in the main event picture all the time.
We know that, but Twitter does not.
Well, yeah, because they're all a bunch of fucking.
And I know Twitter. You can't go on anything on Twitter, can you? Because it's genuinely horrendous. It's worse than the Wild West, isn't it? But we all know that people can't be at the top for all time.
Yeah, but I think the problem is with most wrestling fans, us not included, obviously.
Sorry, maybe.
It's just a bunch of fucking virgins sat on Twitter.
So Terry.
Yeah, that's why. Yeah, but it's just a bunch of fucking virgins sat home, got nothing else better to do. Now I'm gonna hate on AEW. I'm gonna hate on WWE. I'm not being funny. We've not been in this scenario in 20 years, where we've spoken. I think Ross, did you mention it? It's a bit like the Monday Night Wars again.
Yes, yeah, it is.
Yeah, we're beyond TNA now, aren't we? I think
so.
Yeah.
This is if any time to be alive as a wrestling fan, it is now. Even probably more so than the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah,
because you can watch it all now. It's all on different nights.
I think that's the thing, in it. But then also, there's so many sort of you can play devil advocate and everything. Can't you? Yes, you can watch it all, but does that also lose the intrigue? So,
just don't watch Raw.
No, but if you say you
3 hours then.
It's hard to say because I was in 6 when that was going on. I missed most of it.
Yeah.
But if you hear a wrestler's coming over from Japan or like they're a massive deal, like this is sort of my thing with Kenny Omega. Before everything was accessible, you hear about Kenny Omega, but this guy's amazing. This guy's the best thing in the world. He's so thing, and you're like, oh my god, yeah, I can't wait to see his matches. But now you can, so the intrigue's gone. Do you know what I mean? When Nakamura and AJ Styles quest against WWE, AJ Styles is in TNA, but nobody fucking watched TNA. So you're like, oh my god, I'm intrigued because this guy's got such a massive reputation. Even Nakamura, I'd watched one match before.
Mm-hmm.
You come in and watch the Nakamura Styles match at Wrestle Kingdom, and you're like, remember being in Dallas, and it felt like a massive deal. But if you'd seen him on TV every week, maybe it would have felt like a massive deal, but would it have felt like as much? Do you know what I mean? Yes, it's great that you can watch everything and there's something out there for everyone, but does it also take away some of the intrigue?
I don't think it's even the fact that you've got accessibility to everything. I think it's just social media just ruins everything.
But people that don't see them especially mad because you've already seen a clip of them, haven't you? You've already seen what they can do, or you've already seen.
It's like it would have been cooler if we didn't know about Adam Cole's contract expiring. I was just about
like Luger.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it would have been
like,
oh my god, what's
the outsiders turning up on WCW.
Yeah.
But if that was it now, that'd have been ruined 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah, and I think
social media.
I said this as well. Like now, if Scott Hall and Kevin Nash run across, they would have been going, "Oh, we're happy to be here in WCW." Press conference at Bischoff afterwards. Like I don't think it had the same effect as Scott Hall just walking out through the crowd on his own that time.
So
and interrupting.
I mentioned it. I'll get onto it now because I might as well. Daniel Bryan turns up as well. Right, yes, that's.
We'll
talk about that. Yeah. WCW, AEW. I think the parallels are so interesting because I think they're clearly there to see. But people moving across, and I think did we mention the other week where WWE were interested in Luchasaurus? But that's potentially like a Mark Miro thing. Are they just grabbing anybody they can?
Yeah.
It's not that he's a big star. It's just that he wants to go. They just need to get someone, don't they?
They just need to get someone good either way. I think that's what the impression
big thing.
seems to be, yeah.
With AEW, and I don't watch AEW, so I can't really comment. But the wrestlers I associate with being at the top of the AEW card are all ex-WWE. And yes, they're all younger than the WCW ones. I know there's Kenny Omega and it's good in that, but you think of the two main champions I think of are John Moxley and Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
And I know Omega's got the belt, but when I think of the AEW title, they're the two I think of. And you're now getting Daniel Bryan, you're now getting Adam Cole, you're getting CM Punk. Do we think there's a danger that is going to go to like WCW? I'm not saying it will, and they have got probably a better management structure than WCW, and I don't think Tony Khan will get bored of it like TNT when they sold it on
like he did with Fulham. Yeah.
Because I think I don't think he's interested in Fulham, but he's interested in wrestling. Is there a danger that they're going to rely on too many ex-WWE stars?
I don't think they need to anymore.
Yeah, I think the only thing
that was a criticism of WCW, wasn't it? That all the NWO and everybody was coming over was ex-WWE. Yeah. So you had Savage, you had Luger, you had Hogan, you had Hall, you had Nash.
Yeah.
You're at this point now, right? Yeah, you've probably got Bray Wyatt incoming. You've probably got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens maybe coming across at the beginning of next year. I don't think they need any more big stars after those. I mean, who else would you maybe really, really poach from AEW and from WWE? Sorry, Orton.
Yeah, because
he's not going anywhere.
They're not going to get the top stars, are they? Yeah.
But do they need them? I don't think they do.
No, I agree with it. And I know these ones who are coming across are a lot younger, so they've got more of a shelf life. Because that was the old thing about WCW, wasn't it? With the old guys who came across.
Yeah.
And I don't want them to, as much as I don't like Tony Khan or Cody Rhodes, but you don't want AEW to not succeed. You want AEW because competition breeds success for both companies.
Well, it's working for one company. I wouldn't say it's working for WWE at the moment.
Well, it's interesting as well because the parallels between WCW and when Nitro started, and then they started losing the ratings. WWE, didn't they? There was WWF at the time. They were the big company. They were doing all this. They were doing that, and then WCW comes out of nowhere almost. So that was the NWA, and they come out of nowhere and they start winning the ratings. And WWF has to adapt, and then that's how you get the Rock. Is you get Stone Cold, you get Triple H, you get Mankind, you get all these big stars.
Yeah,
is that going to happen again? Would I like to see Dynamite beat Raw? Yes, because I want to see what's going to happen.
Well, if you're interested in demos, Ross, it did this week.
I'm not interested in demos, though. I'm interested in the overalls.
18-49. They actually beat it for the first time.
So I know everyone says it.
It's the most important bracket, though, isn't it?
Yeah. I know, but I'm not in TV, right? I'm not in anything like that. A fledgling radio career. But for me, if I was advertising, I would say who's getting the most viewers. I wouldn't care what the demographic was because it's like stats in it. You can make anything sound good with stats. I would say who's getting the most viewers. They're getting 2 million. They're getting 1.8. Oh, but they're getting 1.7 of this specific group. I don't care. They're getting more people. I'm going to the one with more people. Is that not how it works? Am I being very naive?
Yeah, I guess it depends what you're selling, doesn't it?
As a fan, I only care about the top.
But the thing is, like WWE they'll get a lot more because of WWE at the moment because they're established. Yeah, so they're going to get more money either way. I feel like when they, everyone's like, oh well, Fox are paying however much for SmackDown, and like AEW's doing, similar for like quarter of the money. It's like WWE is still going to get more next time the TV deals are up. Like they'll both probably increase based on last time, but WWE is still going to get more.
So just a question. So flash forward 10 years, right? Mm-hmm. Think of the AEW stars that they've got and say all of them stay. So you'll have Darby Allin, you'll have Omega will probably still be kicking around, Cody will still be kicking around. You've got all them young stars in AEW. You go across to WWE, who have you got? Because Orton will be gone. Reigns will probably be gone.
I think
Reigns is going to Hollywood very soon, I think.
Yeah, I think WWE are going to have a lot more new stars because they're. Have you seen like the new class of like inductees that they got for the performance?
So you've got, is it Gable
Stevenson? Got his brother. Yeah. They've got Rick Steiner's son. Rex Steiner is now called. that Parker Boudreaux who's just got a new name. It's like Gunnar Howland. This thing
Is
he's called now.
he the new Brock Lesnar?
The new Brock, yeah. So I think they're going to go back to that way and do things like, because they're not going to get as many indie stars. Because to be honest, it's not as much indie wrestling as it was.
Well, I said this the other week. I think if you're an indie star, you're already wrestling, I would go to AEW. If you're a Gable Steveson who doesn't know any squat about wrestling, but he's a star, I would go to WWE. That's how I would do it. I think WWE is the best place to learn, because I think Anthony Ogogo should have gone to WWE. Yeah. But
it looks like
I'm trying to think somebody who's on not on AEW.
Yeah, because like Lima.
It's hard. If I was on Ring of Honor or if I was a British star, I would go to AEW. Like so, Kip Sabian. I think he made the right choice going to the AEW.
Yeah, but don't you think a lot of this is based on one thing: booking? If you go to WWE, you know you're going to get booked like shit. Yeah. End of story. You're going to get booked like shit unless your name's Roman Reigns. Simple as.
That's great, though. That's all we need.
I think.
No, but you see where I'm coming from, don't you?
Yeah.
I do, if you carrying Cross in his gimp mask and that. Yeah, and like Ricochet, I love Ricochet.
But I think the performance in it, I can't imagine anywhere else better to learn.
Oh, no, I absolutely agree with you. But your best bet's going to be going there to learn and then dicking off to AEW where you stand a chance of getting booked strongly.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I think some people will have to come through. Like, obviously, Roman and everything to do with Roman is going really, really well. But, like, look at...
That's going to end, though, isn't it?
So, no, but, like, there are some... Like, you know, everyone kind of focuses on the back call-ups and stuff. But, you know, obviously, I'm going to simp for WWE now because I love him. But, like Damian Priest is a perfect example of... They've got him, like, really over now.
Yeah, but then they just need to not drop the ball like they did with Braun.
That's it. Like, Matt Riddle, I think, is another one. But, yeah, it's that there is a kind of a track record of not many people broken through to that next level. What you think they should have done? Braun Strowman's one.
It all comes from the booking.
Yeah. Nakamura's a bit older, though, isn't he? Like,
but look at Bobby Roode. Bobby Roode in NXT. He had the entrance. He had everything. I remember he came out to Glorious and everyone was going mental. And you don't care, do you? You don't care.
I used to watch TNA when Bobby Roode and James Storm were like the big stars, and I thought he's going to be huge. And then he's come across WWE and his booking's been absolutely piss poor.
Yeah. Biggest issue for Bobby Roode for me is that he's Bobby Roode.
He's probably not even classed as a mid-carder.
No.
He's not. That's forethought.
But he's getting on a bit, though, isn't he? It's like in his 40s, isn't he?
There's that as well. But
Bobby Roode.
It's difficult, isn't it? Because you come up from NXT and everyone wants to see the NXT champion win come up straight away because the book's on in NXT and that NXT is a victim of its own success, I think. I think the wrestlers
45 Bobby Roode now.
I think the wrestlers at the top of the NXT card are because people. It's hard because I'm in as much as I don't like to admit it, I am in a very wrestling circle. I'm not a casual fan. I'm an intense fan. I don't know what the word is.
Yeah.
But everything I follow on Twitter, I'm in the hardcore. I'm a hardcore fan. I don't like to admit it because I don't think I am, but I'm more than a casual. So I'm aware of NXT and I'm aware of everything that's going on. So I can see why you would think, say, somebody like Karrion Kross. Is he still NXT champion?
No, he lost it to Jarvis.
Oh, right. So Karrion Kross or even Kevin Owens when he came up or Bobby Roode or anything like that, I'm thinking, well, if they've been booked really strongly, they look really good. Why is he? I think Walter said this on the Survivor Series when he went out in like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I'd watched all his NXT stuff, they've been booked so strongly. And you're thinking, why they've been checked like that? But then the majority of people who are watching that are casual fans who aren't in this.
But also, like Walter, you just got the whole point of him going out was just to put over Drew McIntyre, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like because I remember watching at the time thinking everyone's going to kick off because he went out in like 90 seconds, but I thought I didn't think it damaged. You know, he's the UK champion at the time.
I don't think it's damaged him. But do you know what I mean? But you've got to. I think you have to treat WWE as because they are casual. I've got a tweet that I saw because they are casual centric, and this is about demographics. He said he's using that. He's replying to one of Mick Foley's tweets. I think it was one where he's saying something about the WWE, one of the 8, and he's saying it as a bit of a dig. But he said, honestly, I stopped being upset with WWE once I realised I'm not their target audience anymore. The only thing worse than anger is apathy. Now I don't even care enough to watch. But I think he's spot on with the first bit. where I don't think the target audience is hardcore fans. I think the target audience is
I was just about to say this.
It's casual. It's the casual fans,
so
which is why they bring Goldberg back.
So, do you think AEW is going for the hardcore fans?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then WWE are just relying on pay-per-view buys.
Yeah, which is why I think
fans.
as well,
And
NXT
that's why
had to change. So now everyone's worried about NXT, but the hardcore, because they were the hardcore base was NXT.
Yeah.
AEW came along and they were actually, this one's cooler now. It's literally just like not WWE, so I'm going to go
Which
for
is
that instead. Which is I think why NXT got left with no one.
When you
which
start
is why I'm fine with rebranding it.
When your stars come up from NXT, and I don't know the numbers exactly, but you're probably thinking 30% of the people know who this guy is. Not 30% have watched this NXT.
Yeah.
That means 70% have watched maybe a little bit or don't know who he is. So why would you put them at the top of the card?
You wouldn't put them in mid-card, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so you're getting, say, Bobby Roode's coming up or Nakamura, and you're thinking, this guy should be champion because I'm in the 30%. I'm in the minority of the hardcore fans. But you think, in reality, if you're not watching anything, you see Roman Reigns being so strong and somebody comes up from NXT who you don't know. So basically a new person comes in and then beats Roman Reigns. You're thinking, hang on, he's untouchable.
It depends on the bucket though, doesn't it? Because
but this is what I'm saying. This is why
Universal Champion on his first night, and I think everyone was all fine with. Obviously, he had to relinquish it, but I think everyone was fine with that call, wasn't they?
No, but I think people have to be realistic in when wrestlers come up where they're not going to be as booked as strong. It's like going up, because people don't want to admit that NXT is a development brand, and it is. It's like going up from the Championship to the Premier League. You might score 30 goals in the Championship and be in the top team, and you're winning every game 5-0. You go to the Premier League and you get slapped in the first game because it's not the same level. And I think people need to understand that. Where you're not the same. And I get people will get there, and some people it works for, but it doesn't work for everyone.
But it's like Karrion Kross. What did losing to Jeff Hardy do for him?
I'm not going to say everyone's coming to book carefully.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
because they haven't. Because I agree with you. Ricochet should be on TV.
But no, I think people should take a loss. But it's like Ricochet's not even on telly. That's what annoys me the most.
Yeah, but
I think it's on main event. It's doing on main event.
No, but I think it's unrealistic to think that any NXT champion who comes up should be in the main event straight away because there's not enough spots. Yeah,
and it's like if you look at I agree with that because you look at Edge, Triple H, they're all on the main roster.
Where did they fit in? Yeah. So say who's top of NXT now? So I say Johnny Gargano because he's been there long. Say or Tommaso Ciampa. They come up now.
Yeah,
you've got SmackDown. So you've got Roman Reigns, you've got Brock Lesnar, you've got Edge, you've got Seth Rollins, you've got Nakamura, you've got that's 5 people who are already ahead of Ciampa or Gargano. No matter how good Ciampa and Gargano are, they are ahead of them. I don't know what's wrong, but you've got Lashley, you've got McIntyre, you've got Orton, you've got AJ Styles. You can't just slot somebody in there because the card's already full.
Yeah, but I think it's the difference between. Yeah, it's like the difference between.
Damian Priest was booked perfectly, so he had his mid-card feuds. He had his little things. I know he wasn't the main guy in NXT, was he?
Yeah,
but he had his little things, and now look at it. He's as natural as it can be, naturally progressed.
Do you think that Lesnar is probably the last new talent to have like the perfect run to his first title? Debuted in March 2002.
Yeah.
His first title in August. So he had a very good, very, very, very strong mid-card run. Lost his Intercontinental title match against RVD. Moved to SmackDown. And then won the WWE title.
Beat The Rock as well. Beat The Rock in his first.
He did
for his first title.
Do you think that's? Have they had anyone have a quick, strong run like that since?
I think Kevin Owens didn't have too long, did he? Win the Universal, and he beat Cena on his first pay-per-view.
AJ Styles, was he champion?
Yeah.
But
Finn Balor, I guess. If Finn Balor, it'd be interesting to see what would happen.
But I guess they're established in other brands, aren't they? Whereas Aaron's saying Brock is
brand new.
New talent,
it probably is, and he's probably one of the only last few people to actually grab the brass ring, or break through the ceiling. I mean, you've got him and Cena. Has anybody ever done it since?
Potentially, Paulie's up there as well.
Yeah, potentially Roman Reigns was the latest one, but it took him a while.
It's took him a long while.
He's not. I think he's only just at the same level as Lesnar or Cena.
I don't think he's not up to Lesnar's standards yet. I don't think. I think he's got a way to go.
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs to go to. If he goes to Hollywood, which everyone thinks he will at some point, to become Cena. I know you're going to disagree, though.
Right,
SmackDown, but you can't compare him with Cena or Lesnar at this point, can you?
Yeah, so I've got a point to make here, right? You talk to any non-wrestling fan and you say Roman Reigns, they won't know the fuck you're on about. No. You say John Cena or Brock Lesnar, it's their household names.
Yeah, but I think that's WWE's fault. Get him on Jimmy Kimmel Live and whatnot. Do you know what I mean? Get him on those, get him on there, get him in those movies a bit more and promote. He
was in one of the Fast and Furious films, Hobbs & Shaw. But I think as well, and I don't know, this is basically anything, I think WWE are also scared of somebody leaving like Cena.
Yeah.
Or The Rock. The Rock left in his prime, didn't he? The Rock only had about 5 years.
But you think they shouldn't be, because they see what happens when Cena comes back, and they'll see how, so that's the same minute, Roman's not going to leave. His full family like that.
No, but
let him go off.
Yeah, but if he goes to Hollywood, who would WWE left with? Just answer that one. Who were they left with?
Yeah, I think they are. Yeah, because he's the main man on SmackDown. Because Lesnar's not full time, is he? As much as I love Lesnar, he's not full time.
I think he's only been contracted to 10 matches this time as well, hasn't he?
Boogs would be.
Yeah, you got AJ Styles, but you mentioned AJ Styles to somebody who's not a wrestling fan. They don't know who he is.
I'll say he's getting on a bit, isn't he? Getting on a bit.
Yeah.
This is also true.
Yeah.
So, right, if Reigns leaves, that is WWE's ratings gone.
Yeah, it depends. Well, it depends who takes off it. I think if Big E, he's the next one. I think we're the next big star.
I think he rumored to go back to the New Day now.
Is he?
Because his mid card run's been so awful.
But he's still Money in the Bank, though, isn't he? But so eventually, if he's the one who beats, because someone's got to beat Reigns at some point. That's who I'm intrigued to be, because that's who it'll be. Won't it?
When's the last time someone had a good Money in the Bank run?
When's the next time I saw a good Money in the Bank run?
2011, 2012.
No, it's got to be later than that, right? When did Dolph cash in? That was about 10 years ago, wasn't it? Terry, you'll know someone. Help me out here.
You ain't even listening. See what I mean? I've no idea what we're on about. Right,
I came back in the middle of the conversation.
So we're talking about the last strong Money in the Bank run.
Let's have a look. Money in the Bank winners.
I think you're talking about 10 years ago. The last 3 or 4 years is you made it.
The worst of them, it is.
It's a throwaway. It doesn't even mean anything anymore.
What were we saying? 2011.
Was that Dolph?
That was Daniel Bryan. Dolph was 2013.
That's a good one. Dolph's. And I hate Dolph. But that was a good cash. No, Canelo, what I'm talking about. Seth Rollins.
Seth, that's the best.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah, of course it was, yeah.
How long ago was that?
That was 6 years ago.
2015.
That's mad, isn't it? 6 years ago. Seth Rollins.
This is my problem with WWE. The ruin things. The US title means nothing. Money in the Bank means nothing. Intercontinental title means nothing. Intercontinental title at one point meant more than the WWF title. And they just ruin things.
They get an idea and then they just do it too many times.
Nothing. They just make things worth nothing.
I think they'll make a Big E. I think it'll be good for both. I think Big E's the next guy.
He needs to, because Money in the Bank has been so poorly done.
Yeah, so we're just saying Seth Rollins is probably the last one.
I think WWE just think this is a good idea. Let's do it to the absolute death. Which is
but then sometimes I think it's
pay-per-views.
They kind of ball it. I hate themed pay-per-views, but that's a different story for a different time. But I think they just kind of ball it after a while. They give it to Otis, but then he just went back to the Miz.
This is what I'm saying by not.
They need to be bold.
I'm not planning long term. So if you're going to pick Otis. That's fine. But let's have some conviction in our decisions.
Baron Corbin and everyone, wasn't he? But
Baron Corbin, and it ruined Baron Corbin. And all right, Peters.
Allergic to Baron Corbin.
But Baron Corbin, I think they could have made an exceptional heel champion.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember everyone going crazy for Baron Corbin when he first came up, because he's another one who didn't care if people hated him.
Yeah, he is great now though. His new gimmicks.
He's great now, but Baron Corbin for a while was Baron Corbin. He sucks the fun out of things, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I mean, I was a fan of Constable Corbin, loved the shirt, but still, But I think if they'd have gone all out with Baron Corbin, they would have had a very good heel, at least maybe on the Sheamus level.
Yeah,
an upper mid carder where you can put him in for a few matches and it's fine. But I think again they dropped the ball with Baron Corbin. They dropped the ball with. I don't know. It shouldn't have won it in the first place. Let's be honest. Vince was just feeling it that day, wasn't he?
Yeah. But that's the thing. Like it was a bold move, and he backed out, didn't he? And that's what they always. That's my issue. Is like Ryback. We all take the piss out of him now, but he should have beat CM Punk that time.
Yeah.
Braun. They should have put the belt on him when he faced Lesnar that time.
Braun. They had the chance to put him strap into the moon.
That's probably the biggest ball they've dropped in the last couple of years, to be honest.
So it'll be interesting to see what they do with people like Damian Priest and Big E and that are coming up. But
I think Shayna Baszler, she should have won the title. She should have won the Rumble for a start, I think.
Yeah, because that Elimination Chamber was shit. So I was through that. But yeah,
did I say I enjoyed that?
Yeah, you said it was your favorite match of all time.
I just love Shayna Baszler.
Fucking Terry and that Goldust snatch, or whatever it was at the time. But yeah,
no, so you mean Terry and the tag team match between who was it? Was it the head shrink? The head shrinkers, Owen Hart and Coco Beware?
That was the one, yeah.
Head shrinkers versus High Energy.
It's favorite match of all time, wasn't it? Yeah.
And that fucking absolutely terrible graveyard match between the Kiss Demon and Vampiro. Nobody, I don't even think the Kiss Demon and Vampiro likes.
Cinematic.
I did.
You couldn't even see it. You couldn't even see it. There's so much smoke. I agree with you. I think they need to. That's WWE's biggest problem. They just need to have some. I think he's second guessing himself in events, and this is part of the issue. He second guesses himself.
This is too much money right now. They're a multi-billion corporation.
Well, this is it.
Tony Khan takes a risk. It don't matter. He's only answering to himself. They're answering to shareholders. That's why it's got a bit staler. That's why it's got a bit safer.
Is there any point in Vince having a creative team?
No, I don't think so.
No chance in hell.
Yeah.
And is it true that Vince Russo is apparently working with WWE again?
So he's just doing voiceovers for a documentary or something. It turns out, he's not actually working.
Maybe he could be the answer.
It's just
as much as he ruined WCW, he's also
and TNA.
But he's also the man behind the Attitude Era.
He ruined TNA and WCW.
So was Vince.
But this is what I'm saying. He ruined WCW and TNA when he didn't have Vince working over him. So Vince is the filter.
He made WF what it is.
Well, if you listen to a lot of the people, I listen to a lot of interviews people who went backstage, and they all say Pat Patterson was the actual genius. He was the what? I can't remember who it was. It was an ex-writer. He's gone to does TV and
Brian Gewirtz.
No, he'd only been there about 3 or 4 years. He said if he started the wrestling business today, the first person he would have started would have been Pat Patterson, because he was the he came up with the Royal Rumble, didn't he?
He's dead.
Yeah, no, he's dead now, but this was in the past.
Okay, all right, that's fine. Yeah.
So this was about 5-6 years ago.
Do you know if it was me, who I would put in charge of creative? Triple H.
Yeah.
Who was this? He had in the glory days of NXT. Who was his head writer? He went to SmackDown. Didn't he? I don't know if he ever did anything.
Ryan Ward.
He went to SmackDown, didn't he?
Yeah, I don't know if he's still there. It might be, but it's all kind of Bruce and Vince and stuff now.
Was it a Triple H that invented Elimination Chamber, or was that Eric Bischoff?
I think it was Bischoff in kayfabe. There might have been Triple H in actual.
I think that's where I'm getting mixed up. Yeah.
Because he was trying for a war game sort of style thing, wasn't they?
Yeah, but I still maintain that SmackDown's the best weekly wrestling show, and Raw's the worst, and I just can't fathom that it's the same creative team behind both of them. I just Dynamite's all right, but SmackDown is just
they panic with 3 hours.
Consistently beautiful.
Give Dynamite a couple of years.
Yeah, there'll be no chance. It'll be the big dog, whichever brand.
The big dog won't be there in 2 years. So
whichever brand is on.
They can't rely on legends.
Big E, big lads, Big E, and then after that, it'll be big someone else.
For me,
it'll be Gable Stevenson.
I don't know. But for me, Big E's just a very, very good mid card.
Yeah, we got big F out there, big G.
I'd like to see it though. I'd like to see him with the title.
Why not? Yeah. Why not? That's what I think.
You've got to try it, haven't you? Because I remember watching it when, and I was in and out. And when Edge first won the title, I'm thinking, I know you will do it, Luke, but I'm thinking Edge with the title.
JBL, another one.
Yeah, but because I came back, I was like, Bradshaw, champion.
Making Bradshaw champion. Yeah, got to take a
But
risk.
now you look back and you think, well, Edge is the most decorated superstar of all time.
Yeah.
Which is mental. 13 was 12, 13?
11 world titles.
11,
31 titles overall, isn't it?
And you're thinking,
Hang
but I remember
on.
at the time,
Hang on. He's not the most decorated, though, is he?
Jerry Lawler.
R-Truth. Did you
Did
see the banter that they had on Twitter? And Edge basically said, Edge was on about him basically being the most decorated superstar, and sort of R-Truth had responded saying, "Yeah, I've won more titles than you." So Edge had responded saying, "Well, I don't recognise your however many wins of the 24/7 title." So R-Truth responded saying, "Yeah, well, that's all right, because I don't recognise any of your title wins either."
I love R-Truth.
He's one of the oldest in there now, though, isn't he?
He's such a great guy. Though.
Yeah.
If you ever listen to him on the podcast, outside of WWE, he's so funny, and I can understand why they keep putting stuff on him.
Yeah, everyone just loves him, don't they? We'll get him on this one.
I'd love it. But I mean, you see, everyone was kicking off about Jeff Hardy being in the 24/7 title picture. In the picture.
Yeah, what was the point in that? I don't like that. I don't think you should do that.
What, put Jeff Hardy in it?
Yeah.
But he's not doing that else, so...
Well, just have him on TV at all.
How many people whinge he's not on TV?
You don't want degrading himself. Trace of the 24... He's a former WWE champion. I can't.
So was Jinder Mahal, but he had some great moments. 24/7.
Yeah, he does. But yeah, that was different though, wasn't it? Because he's established and he's a surefire Hall of Famer, Jeff Hardy. Jinder might not be.
I wish to do some matches for the 24/7 title.
Did he? I know. Reggie's changed the game in us. They had one.
For the hardcore title. So the hardcore title, it was 24/7, but they still had actual matches, didn't they? They still had actual.
Starting to do more of those now. Reggie's got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not as good as WCW hardcore title, though, is it?
No one's smart. You should Ralphus back for one night only. He dead.
Ralphus dead. What a shame.
Yeah, Chris Jericho he reached out to try and hunt him down. And he said that he emailed him and managed to get hold of his email. He emailed him saying, it's Chris Jericho. And Ralphus had responded saying, the Chris Jericho. And then he never responded again.
You heard that story about
he died a couple of years ago
when Jericho was going to WWE, WWF, and WCW, and it was the week before. Ralphus thought he was going with him.
Yeah,
because he was in the thing. Jericho was like, "No, you're not coming."
I'm kind of glad he didn't because one, we got the greatest of all time, which is Chris Jericho, but we also got the great run of Norman Smiley and Ralphus, which is arguably the best hardcore run of any wrestler in existence.
That is up there. Norman Smiley with his old wiggle. It's I
can't wait for the Norman Smiley special, to be honest.
Yeah, it's coming soon.
Ted Peterson, I'm wearing an ECW t-shirt there. We've already made the comparison of AEW to WCW. In your opinion, who is a new ECW?
Who's a new What's that mad
GCW?
One? Yeah, that one.
Do you think that'll be as big? Do you think that's going to be?
No.
I'm not being just hardcore.
No.
Who do you think at the minute is number 3? So you've obviously got WWE as one number.
Probably Impact.
No,
I think it could be GCW. Well, in some ways.
I don't really know. Is there a number 3?
New Japan. Probably.
But will that ever be big? I think an American promotion will always be bigger than New Japan.
Yeah, you're probably right with Impact, aren't you? WWE, AEW, TNA, or Impact.
Yeah, probably Impact by default at the moment. Because
NWA, what was it? NWA, they're doing out?
They're only a new ship, are they? Yeah, it probably would be Impact just by default because they've still got a TV contract.
Can I just say what I think the worst thing is in current modern day history wrestling?
Go on.
Nick Gage. He don't belong in any fucking ring.
He's a GCW boy.
But he's not a wrestler. He's just a fucking thug.
Nah, I don't like it.
Is he like the new Jack?
Is any more? Yeah. Have you watched any of the Dark Side of the series of Dark Side?
I haven't seen the new series, but I know there's one on him. Because he goes to jail for robbery.
He's just a fucking prick.
Yeah,
that's a nice way of putting it. He's a horrible human being. He's dangerous in the ring. Like, I think it just puts people's lives at risk. If I'm honest.
Yeah, I don't like those like hardcore. I remember like Jimmy Havoc getting a reputation in the UK, and I didn't get it. I was just like, and obviously now, like,
There's no need for it.
yeah,
Jimmy Havoc, go fuck yourself.
Then John Moxley's probably not far away from being.
he's having a match room, man. They're
Yeah,
having a match out in GCW. Yeah,
I don't understand it, and I used to love ECW, and the more and more I watch it now, I was like, maybe it's because I'm older. I just think I'm now like, oh, don't do that. Stop doing that. Think of your health.
That's nothing compared to the stuff that Nick Gage does.
Yeah.
And I've watched some death matches, and like from whoever does CZW do King of the Death Match, don't they know?
Yeah.
Or Death Match tournament. And I've watched some of them, and I'm just like, why?
Well,
there's about 8 people in the crowd. Why are you doing this?
If you watch the Dark Side of the Ring episode on Nick Gage, when they start doing the King of the Death Match things, they show footage from some of his matches, and it's disgusting.
It's like, have you seen The Wrestler? We've all seen The Wrestler.
Yeah.
I watched it the other day again.
Where he's doing stuff, and there's that guy who's stapling dollar bills to himself or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, why are you doing that? There's nobody there. Nobody cares. What are you doing?
He got his
why
run
are you
again,
doing that?
Yeah.
Got his run again.
Yeah, I know. But you're like, why?
No, I don't understand deathmatch wrestling, or even like I don't even like Blade. The idea of Blade to me just seems bad.
Chair shots to the head. That now I watch him. In fact, I'm like, oh my god, The Rock vs Mankind, where he does like 17 times. I'm watching it thinking, it's making me feel sick.
Mm-hmm.
It's horrendous.
I don't mind a bit of blood.
If it comes naturally, fine. I don't think it takes anything away. I don't like the idea of people cutting themselves open.
Or get someone else to do it.
Yeah.
Stand there, I just slice your head up, and all right.
If it comes naturally, I think that's fine.
Yeah.
And I do think it adds some stuff. So you've got the famous ones, Stone Cold with Bret Hart, isn't it, where the visual was in bleeding. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's probably fine.
Brock loves a good Blade, doesn't he?
every single Hogan and Ric Flair match, in my opinion.
Yeah, but see, Ric Flair, having watched his TNA run, stop, Rick, stop, please.
Cody Rhodes did it, wasn't he? It was a good Blade job, yeah.
I don't like to see it. And I think if I was a wrestler, I wouldn't want to do it. I think Billy Gunn said the first time he ever bladed was when he was in TNA.
Yeah. I know Vince goes up and down about it, but I'm assuming he doesn't like it now. It's PG. It's not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, not going to get blood in WWE unless it's unintentional, like Becky's broken nose.
Yeah. Which made for a good visual.
It did, didn't it? But that was only because it was unsafe worker.
Hijacks. Yeah. That's probably one of the best things that happened to you.
Do we think
the thing is, if Nia Jax ever gets fired from the WWE, she will not find a job anywhere.
I'm surprised Strowman's got a contract somewhere else or having an appearance because he's on out, but slag off today.
Yeah. If you're a small company though, and if someone comes available, everyone will work.
Yeah, people's principles got.
No, you say that though. Tessa Blanchard is never getting a job in wrestling again.
No, I mean good, thankfully.
Even though at AEW All Out there was Tessa Chance.
Yeah, we want Tessa. No, we don't want it. That's the reply.
And then Ruby Soho came out. And
she's poison, isn't she? She's going to NWA, as far as I'm aware. That's the rumor. Now she's left in there.
Oh yeah, well done. You've got yourself a main event slot of fucking nobodies.
Yeah, YouTube show.
Well, if it's all to believe, and it probably is because she's been tagged for it, she's a horrible person and she shouldn't deserve to have work again.
Speaking of great YouTube shows that are now making their way onto TV, Booker T's company.
Oh yeah, it's got a TV contract.
Is it really?
Yeah, reality of wrestling.
Is it in like 40 states or something?
Yeah.
I don't know how it works. It's weird over there, isn't it? They don't have like a Sky, do they?
No, he's apparently he's going to be working. A lot of his talent go to WWE, don't they?
Yeah.
I think he's working alongside them as like
NXT for NXT. Yeah.
That's the chance to do in the UK.
Well, that's originally why
progress in GCW.
Yeah, it's why he first left, wasn't it? Because they built FCW instead of using his company. Right. Yeah, when he first went to TNA, and then obviously they've smoothed it over since then.
Yeah. What was it? I was going to say something else. I can't remember what it was. What happened to MLW? That was going to be the third one, wasn't it? That was people saying raving about.
You're still on the go. Just a lot of the roster works for
AEW. Yeah. It's a weird time, isn't it?
They stalled it. WWE were talking to them for a bit, weren't they?
Well, it's Cott Barron, it used to be a writer at WWE.
Yeah.
But they had some. I like Shane Strickland. Is he in WWE now?
Isaiah Swerve sure is.
Yeah. I liked his kill shot.
Yeah.
In the old Lucha Underground, which we need to do a special at some point because it's just fantastic.
I'll be honest,
Sure
I have not watched any of it.
So good. I've watched the first 2 series. The third one got a bit weird, and it just started doing hardcore matches for the sake of doing hardcore matches.
Is it like a
nowadays?
Mexican Wrestling Society extras?
Yeah, but better.
Okay.
It was like, do you know what Ricochet said? So when they approached him, he said, "I don't want to do it because it's going to be like Wrestling Society X."
Yeah.
And then they convinced him to do it, and it's probably what put him on the map.
Yeah.
It's so good though because it's just different. I think that's why it's so good. It's good because it's completely different, and people died. Dario Cueto was murdering people. Mr. Cisco, he got killed.
sounds like my storyline, this. Isn't it?
It's just like they didn't apologize for what there was. They knew what there was. They did this, and yeah, it's hokey, and people are dying, and they have people getting resurrected from the dead, and Mil Muertes and all that, and all the people, and then that was, you just went along with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just what's happening, and they're consistent with it. And I think that's, again, I think they actually had like courage in their convictions. They did say, "Oh, we're going to do this." They did it, and you're like, "Yeah, it's worked out. It's good."
Mm-hmm.
And it's made me fall in love with Pentagon Junior or Pentagon El Zero.
Yeah, that's good. And again, it was a time. It was another outlet for talent to get out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
I know they had weird contracts, and they all had to get out eventually. Didn't they? Kind of what happened now, but
the fourth series didn't really happen, did it?
Yeah.
So and it made you aware of a lot of Mexican talents.
Yeah, it was just the idea, wasn't it? It was AAA, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was partly
Triple,
yeah, because Tejano, Triple A champion was on there.
Yeah.
You had Daga, he was on there, but you had people like, I've never seen him anywhere else. So you had Mil Muertes, who was in TNA, or somebody else, I can't remember what he's called. You had King Cuerno, who's now the Phantasma in NXT. You had Drago, who I've never seen anywhere else, but I absolutely loved him. You had Aerostar, he was incredible. It was the sort of American debut of Brian Cage. Who was on, thinking now he was on there. It was just called Cage. You had, I mean, I didn't watch any other things that was had to it, but Jeff Cobb was on there as Dario Cueto's brother. People like that they were just on there as characters.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll made a promise now, us. We will do.
We need to watch them. Would you watch like an Aztec Warfare or something? I'll watch one of. But we'll watch. I can't remember what the main show was called, but they did that for 2 nights.
Yeah,
just like that. Son of Havoc, he was incredible. And Helico was my first introduction to him. So I just really enjoyed it. So I watched like every. I watched them all behind. I never do that. I never watch old stuff.
Yeah,
but yeah, top stuff. Right, we've been going for 2.5 hours now.
Bloody hell. Time flies when you're talking about wrestling.
It's been a good discussion, though, and I think one that's been needed.
Yeah. Good to talk about the current stuff. We know we do every week anyway, partly, don't we? But
I just think it's interesting, the comparisons you can go to, because everyone likes to say there isn't a war again, don't they? But the comparisons you can make between what happened 20 years ago and now. Yeah.
I think it's AEW put on their best shows of the year, and then WWE responded. Well, they waited, didn't do it Monday, but they responded on Friday. Great SmackDown show, yeah.
I think we haven't talked about it, but Edge, Seth Rollins, very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Pay-per-view worthy.
Yeah. Plus it went too long, which is why the women's match got cut. I assume it was that, but yeah, really good. I mean, I still hope they have an Extreme Rules match. I hope that's where it's going.
Like a last man standing, or
we need to see this
falls count anywhere.
No, we just need the flaming table spear again, please. Yeah, that's all I want.
Give him 3rd-degree burns.
Yep, that again, please.
Well, last question then. Well, I've just thought of it now. We've got the NWO, or the Outsiders, Scott Hall, Kevin Nash. Was that a bigger deal, or is it too early to tell? Then I'm not including Adam Cole, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan.
Too early for me.
Too early.
Well, fucking hell, he is there. I think it's too early. I just want to follow a few things on Facebook, and just before we go off it, the pro wrestling world. So the posted, I can't remember what day this was. One day this week.
Peter's gone.
So all of the internet, the people saying AEW is a fly-by-night company, or that WWE's going to die, whatever it is, there are theories running rampant that only one company will stand the test of time. Well, how about this theory? What if it's WWE versus AEW for the next 50 years? What if for the next 50 to 100 years, these companies remain neck and neck, and we, the fans, just get treated to two major companies that neither win nor lose, and we get great wrestling? What's your thoughts on that?
That's ideal, isn't it? Because that's what you want, really.
Are we part of the problem by comparing them?
No.
I think you can compare them, and you'll flip between the two. And over years,
I think if you were to listen to the show back, I'm quite AEW biased, but as a whole,
I would counter that by being a WWE
Mac. As a whole, we've kind of come with pros and cons for both companies. Yeah. You've gone Twitter, and it's just poison on there, isn't it?
Well, that's the same with society these days. There's no, if you go on anything, there's no grey area. You have a yes or you are, and if you yes for some things, that means you're also yes for things.
I am totally happy in the fact that I can watch AEW weekly, get, I don't know, what is it, like 5 or 6 pay-per-views a year, but then I can tune in every pay-per-view to WWE, and I've not missed a beat. So I don't have to tune into the weekly shows for WWE, and I still know what's going on. I can still enjoy it. I can still see the big stars over there, and I get to watch AEW.
So should we just be thankful that we live in a day and age where there is fantastic wrestling all over the world?
Yeah, and hopefully the indie scene picks up again once COVID's blown over completely.
And if it wasn't for AEW, just think of all the wrestlers, the main event wrestlers that'd be out of jobs now, because WWE have laid off more signings than anyone, or they have done in years.
Yeah,
where would all that talent have gone to?
It's like you play Extreme Warfare Revenge, isn't it? And as soon as you start with a company that's not WWE, they just release everyone, don't they?
Yeah.
It's like playing that. That's what it's like. I agree, and I hope the indie scene gets going again. I hope the American one gets going again. I hope the British one gets going again. I like going to watch wrestling. I think that's, and I like things coming across. New Japan coming across. It was a completely new experience for me when we saw it in London, the Royal Quest. But it's something that ever since we've been, I've wanted them to come back.
Yeah,
it's the same with AEW. I would 100% go to see one of them. I want to see World of Sport.
We got
cancelled.
Tickets to go see it on Sky, didn't we?
We were the only 3 people who bought tickets.
Yeah.
And I think I'd like to see a big UK company. And I know we've got NXT UK, but I don't think it's the same.
Big, is it?
No, I'd like to see. I'm a bit disappointed. World of Sport. I understand why World of Sport was presented the way it was. But I would like to see a big UK company. Yeah, I thought it would be progress, but for a short time, and maybe it will be again. But
yeah, well, they're kind of WWE development as well now, aren't they?
Yeah,
which I guess is not a bad thing for them because it sets them up for life, really. And
I think what Ross is trying to say is he wants a big UK company, so he can go on a weekly basis and watch Nathan Cruz and be dominant like Roman Reigns.
Yeah. I mean, it does love Nathan Cruz as well. So he's his favorite wrestler of all
genuinely, time. One of my favorite moments of wrestling of all time is about Nathan Cruz.
Fell over.
I like a right idiot. His mate got a beer thrown at him. Love to see it. It's like a kids' event. Just kids in the audience, people drinking beers. Good to see it. Flex, he's a champion. Flex these days out of Maxted.
Is he? Oh, I didn't realize just running shows. Good.
Just the size of him. He's almost lost it, hasn't he?
Yeah, good to hear.
Just the size of him who does a 450 splash. It's not his finisher. He does a weird 360 clothesline thing.
Yeah, and that's spear for the ropes.
Well, yeah. Well, I just want the wrestling scene to pick back up because I think hopefully COVID's now finishing. There's not going to be as many things. People opening up again out. We're getting crowds.
Mm-hmm. They say that, but then we're on about another lockdown, aren't we?
Yeah, I believe that. It's one that you just
no one's going to do it, are they?
No, you just got to deal with it when it happens, don't you? But I want, you want to get back to normal. Hopefully, it is now. It seems to be. But I think wrestling is in a better place now than it was 24 months ago, 2 years ago.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's an exciting time to be a fan, as everyone keeps saying, but it's true.
It's-
Both companies challenging, both main companies challenging each other. The little companies snapping at the heels.
Which is
It's a
how
good
it should
time.
be.
Yeah.
And I'd like to end with anybody who's listening. You can be a fan of more than one thing.
But if you are only going to pick one thing, just pick WWE, you fucking max. The bigger company. Roman Reigns is the best wrestler on the planet, and Vince is a genius. Get fucked.
You can just be a fan of one thing. Just because you like something in WWE doesn't mean that you can't like it in AEW. Just because you like something in the AEW doesn't mean you can't like it in WWE. Then that's the main message.
Yeah.
However, unless it comes to I want to try and wrap the show up before it comes back, so it just comes back to an empty Zoom call. But if you're a fan of Terry Peters on Bell Nation, don't be. Tune into Wrestling Around instead.
Yeah, if you are subscribed to Bell Nation,
Unsubscribe.
Unsubscribe, because quite frankly, it doesn't deserve you.
And use that subscription on Wrestling Around. Our YouTube channel
All
is
he's doing is grooming you.
We've got some big plans for the old YouTube. I think we promised a lot of things, haven't we?
Yeah.
I've definitely got some ideas for YouTube, and now we can. We need the summer really for half my ideas, but we're getting back there. Twitch streams. We promised Halloween Havoc this year, didn't we? Halloween Night 5, so we'll try and sort that out soon.
Yep.
Some point in October.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
And next week we're doing In Your House Mind Games. By the way,
Is that what's happening next week?
That's what we're doing next week. Yeah.
What's the card? I don't know anything about this.
It's Shawn Michaels versus Mankind main event. So
all right,
that's what we're doing next week. Yeah, 25th anniversary of it, I believe.
Just googled it now. Let's have a look. Number 10 in your house. Number 10 Mind Games.
Yeah.
There we go.
What's on the card? So we got Savio Vega against Justin Bradshaw.
Yeah, Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
Oh, that is actually JB Hill.
Yeah.
Jose Lothario against Jim Cornette.
See, big step.
And the Bulldog against Smoking Guns. Montgomery, Jerry Lawler. Undertaker, Goldust, Shawn Michaels, Mankind. All right, yeah, cool. Well, we'll do that then. He's not Tippy, isn't he? So he can't fucking promote himself. Aaron, where can we find you? With your world-class wrestling journalism.
Oh yeah, on Twitter, Frankenstein91. Same for Instagram.
Well, give him a follow on there if you want to keep up with all the latest
all the important stuff.
Wrestling Around Wrestling Federation Weekly Wednesday Wrestling. Where can we find you? In any like AEW
on social media?
Any AEW fans Twitter mentions?
Frankly, that's nowhere because I'm sick of getting trolled. So nowhere.
So he's not on it anymore.
Yeah.
You can find me at NeroSem on Twitter. You can find us all at Wrestle Around. We're at Wrestle Around pretty much everywhere. Wrestle Around on Facebook, but most importantly on Twitch. So follow us on Twitch. Also on YouTube because we have got some big plans for that. But yeah, we will let you know when we're going to do the 95 Halloween Havoc. In our greatest of all time, was it legendary?
Yeah, it's the best pay-per-view of all time on this side of us.
Quite frankly, it was Mark too low, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I know. Christmas special. Oh, was it Christmas special?
No, it was the 50th episode. Yeah, year
special.
Yeah, which one? Yeah.
Christ, we're nearly at another year again. We're going 18 months.
I know.
How time's flown.
Yeah, this has been like a Christmas special, hasn't it? It's gone off for just as long. Since I'm not as drunk this time.
Well, I've had 4 beers, so
yeah.
We'll do that again. Christmas special. I can't wait for that. We're going to run out of stars. No, do you know what we're doing? Christmas special. We're doing the World Cup, WCPW World Cup, because we was all there.
Oh yeah, we should do that, and then we should just quiz Terry on what's happened the last 12 months of Wrestling on podcast. See how he remembers.
Yeah, well,
I'm going to use that.
He's not here, is he? So, Terry Peters has been sacked again. He won't be in next week. I'm fairly confident in saying that. But yeah, follow us at Wrestling Around. Google Wrestling Around. You'll find us with green and black.
He's disappeared. We should probably check for his whereabouts after this.
Genuinely don't know where he's gone. He
we're just looking at an empty chair.
In his blue room. I don't genuinely no idea where he's gone. He told us. He's back now.
He's back now.
That's kind of annoying. So thank you for joining us, Aaron.
Thank you very much, Ross.
Thank you for being here, Lou.
Thanks, Ross.
Terry, you've sort of been here. Thank you, everybody, for listening to us. And join us next week where we cover In Your House Mind Games.
Hello, beautiful. I'm Amy Errett, founder of Madison Reed, a hair color company I named after my daughter. Madison Reed delivers gorgeous, lasting, high-quality hair color made with ingredients you could feel good about, and our licensed colorists are here to help you every step of the way. Experience your best hair color ever. Find your perfect shade at madison-reed.com and get 10% off plus free shipping on your first color kit. Use code RADIO10